and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't come to play. We ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't come to play. We ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't come to play. We ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach, and the bench deep. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunkered down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Film guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We doing a little bit different around here.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up. The tape. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Tuesday evening here inside the studio. As always, we have an absolutely loaded show for you guys. We got best bets coming up tonight. Somebody fit to wear them gloves, and I think it's going to be me. We're going to do that tonight. Jay Will's got a segment that he is baking up that I'm excited about. It's spooky season. Do you know it's Halloween this weekend? It's Halloween this weekend. We got a spooky season theme. Now, we're not one of these programs or shows that, like, decorates the set. But we're going to have a set decoration via a segment tonight that is very spooky-related themes. We got to talk to him Tuesday here on a fine Tuesday as well. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, like, subscribing, rate, reviewing. Always add that rate review, okay? Hey, we've been hammering on you to subscribe in the channel, hammering on you to hit that thumbs up button on the video, hammering on you to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. But make sure you're heading over there if you miss any portion of the podcast or the broadcast, and check us out on podcasts. However, wherever you get it, we are readily available. Just hit search The Film Guy Network. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Let's get after it. Let's start with the news on a Tuesday afternoon. A little show news.
Show news.
If you haven't yet, you need to set your alarms for 4:30 Tuesday afternoons, Paul Feinbaum. You know, you should probably be watching Feinbaum Monday through Friday no matter what. But you definitely should be watching on Tuesdays at 4:30 because Kirby cuts the best damn segment that they make on ESPN, don't you, Kirby?
I wouldn't know about all that. I try.
I mean, you're the star of that show.
No.
You're a star of that 10 minutes that we do
anyone,
on SEC Network every single week.
I don't know if anyone even knows I'm in the studio for that segment.
The funniest tweet I think you've ever had was the Mike.
That was funny.
Tweet. That I was on TV.
I was on for half a second.
That was classic. But yeah, if you haven't started watching this, if you probably see it on our channel, you probably watched it already. We do a great job there, Kirby and I and Jonathan, putting together what is really like 30 minutes of what we do around here and squeezing it into 12 that ends up being into 10 when we get onto that network. And it's really the only thing we ever really practice around here, would you say?
Yeah, I think that's the only.
We don't do a good enough job talking through segments before the show.
Other than
honestly.
No, other than us doing like a quick run through before the show and kind of going what we're going to talk about, but that's not great practice. Like,
yeah, we go through the bullet points on what the order of the show is going to be, but we don't ever. Everything that we do is live, including the film studies. They're just not broadcast live. Apart from a malfunction, a cord go out, or anything like that, which makes that live television segment even more nerve-wracking. But we're out there, doing what we do basically on SEC Network. That was pretty incredible every single Tuesday. So make sure you're tuned in and locked in on that one. Also news related. I made a mistake on quarterback rankings this week.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Sometimes when I do those rankings, it get a little hectic because football brain, doing any type of list for me. I can't do the grocery list. The wife got to do them. That type of deal. And she's even gotten to the point now where she puts it in the order of my path in the grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
She's
That's
a good
efficient.
wife.
I don't even do
Your
that.
wife does this too?
I do that, yeah.
Oh.
I don't do that.
My wife does it for me. So I need a quality control assistant in my sports life like I have in my life. That is my wife. My wife is my head quality control assistant. She QC. All right. I need somebody to be QC around here. And my QC failed me today because I ranked Gunnar Stockton behind Marcel Reed in the SEC rankings because Marcel Reed had a great week, even though Gunnar Stockton won the bye. But I did not bump Marcel into the top 10, and I should have. So all that being said, Josh Hoover out at 10. We're bumping them all down, Gunnar Stockton and Carson included. Carson at 10, Gunnar Stockton at 9, Marcel at 8. Yep, Marcel at 8. CJ Carr at 7. This is hard for a football brainer. CJ Carr, who won the bye week. All right, Haynes King. How about Haynes King? 300 yards on 70+ percentage completion and doing everything that they do in the run game out there at Georgia Tech. Pretty scary.
On the bench by the middle of the third, too.
Yeah, I know. Sitting it, throwing it, chunking it, running it, doing everything out there at a really, really high clip. I think, and the other thing, I finally got to sit down and because it was bye week, finally got to sit down and watch them on TV, not on cut-ups or highlights or all 22. You get to get a real feel for their pace. They are playing fast at Georgia Tech. This is not people think this is like the Vandy of whatever. They play it a totally different way. They are playing so much faster because their quarterbacks. We're 3 years into this. Haynes King and Buster together. They are seeing it the same exact way. I got him moving up at number 6. Another WTB won the bye. Julian Sand out there with the Buckeyes. Number 4, he played in an absolute cats and dogs storm. Did y'all see how ugly it was out there between Oregon and Wisconsin?
It was a pretty gross game. Did you see how that game started?
You told me about this onside kick in the broad daylight.
Broad daylight, sun's out, no weather. Oregon just opens it with an onside kick. The most Dan Lanning way to start a football game against a Wisconsin team that, let's be honest, probably didn't need to kick an onside against.
I was watching it midway through the second when it was just slop fest. I think they were up 7-0 right before the half.
Yeah.
And, it was raining thick drops out there
it was
in
a wet
Eugene,
game.
Oregon. And the other thing, gusts of wind. The clips that I saw and the footage that I saw was balls getting pushed east and west a good bit. Okay, because when you get that sideways rain, Jonathan, that ball be sliding on you. It's one thing to have to keep the nose down against the wind, but when that wind's swirling on you, you have no idea how to project it. A little bit different of a ball game out there. Sideways rain and sideways wind. Number 3, was he electric this weekend? Joey Aguilar. Joey Swagular. Have we settled on one there?
I like that one better than the Joey football one.
Yeah, but Joey football feels a little Equate version,
Yeah,
a little secondary. I'm not a spinoff guy. I don't even like secondary sequels except for Fast and Furious 2. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I prefer the Joey Swagular one. That one is at least original.
Too Fast, Too Furious. Excuse me for my Fast and Furious heads out there. Number 2, Fernando Mendoza. For some reason, my brain always wants to call him Francisco.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's been Fernando
for the whole time.
For his whole life. So
ever since he got to college football, it's been Fernando.
Ever since he was
consistent.
born.
It was consistent. Wasn't a great week for him this week, I felt like, against UCLA, but they didn't need much help. They were dominant.
That defense was all over the place.
Number 1, Ty Simpson. SEC list?
Let's hear it.
We have removed John Mateer from the SEC rankings.
Finally got past the injury.
Well, no, I don't think he's healthy. I just think this might be what it is.
Oh, okay.
How are you gonna get healthy in the middle of the year?
You really don't.
You really.
Well, it's
don't.
also injury or not, you're 3 weeks removed from having what we would call a good game.
Isn't this like just now the timeline that we normally expected from this injury? Didn't he rush back against Texas?
Oh, he rushed back for sure.
Definitely.
I would say
Wasn't that like a 6-week injury normally, and he played in 3?
No, you're absolutely. But here's my thing: sailing balls and all that, I can understand attributing, being hurt with the thumb.
You don't like the decision making.
The decision making, especially on that last drive, was abhorrent.
Yeah,
That's not a thumb injury.
there was an interception against Texas. It was
Back in the end zone.
Yeah, the first half was closing.
Points at a premium.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
And so that alone is like, well, yeah, your thumb might hurt, but your thumb was not the one that made the decision. Maybe it was your thumb. I mean, it doesn't have any brain cells there. That wasn't a brain cell throw, but.
And I would imagine when your thumb's like that, you become less willing to run, or less, like they call you less. They call your number
Probably.
less. And we know how much that has impacted this offense. Now, they have found some north and south run game with number 24. That's a big boy, especially in open field. He can really, really run. Number 8, Arch Manning.
Ooh.
Yeah, talked a lot about him on Feinbaum today. Did the whole segment on him. He showed me a lot.
Is this his first appearance in like 5 weeks?
Yep, 100%. I asked this the other day in the studio. The audience might remember this. Back when I was a hoop head, Jonathan, back when I was watching that round ball get bounced around, in the prime of D Rose, which was like, I don't know, 9, 10, 11, 12 that year, you were probably, what, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
No.
Either way, doesn't matter. There was this Adidas commercial. Might have been a Powerade commercial. Can't remember. But it was about Derrick Rose. And this rose sprouts out of the concrete in the middle of Chicago.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
That's what it was like. It was like watching a rose sprout out of the middle of just something that it ain't supposed to be grown out of.
Flower growing in the concrete?
A rose growing out of some cow shit is what was going on out there, is what that looked like. I mean, you've watched it over and over. You were in here today.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing going good around him.
No, I think this was the
Nothing was going good around him.
This was the first game where I felt like Arch outplayed the team around him.
Yeah.
Which is
drug him up out the muck.
What you're going to have to do this year, because that offense is not very good. At
How
least
do you
the
spend $30
offensive
million
line.
and it be like that?
I don't know.
It's a great question.
You're asking
Defensively,
the
they're
wrong guy.
fine. We got to look at the offensive decision makers and talk about their player selection processes.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, though. Both sides of that team have been kind of underwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
Texas's defense has been very good, but there's also been moments where it's like, oh, that's not top 5 defense.
Christian, there were 35 possessions in that football game last week. They were bound to give up.
Oh, yeah,
some
no,
points.
I'm not even referencing that
They
game.
giving it up.
What Florida was doing to them was not great.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's
true.
That's what I'm more referencing as well.
Do you think that was also like they got shell shocked by Dallas Wilson and found no adjustment?
Also, very well could be, but when you're
Aren't those? If we were a Texas homer, we would explain those away.
sure, absolutely,
You
I
know?
get it, but from an outsider's
Oh,
perspective,
and also first start without Michael Taft this past weekend.
Mhm.
Like, there's so many ways as a homer we could.
Absolutely.
yeah. Again, look, like Texas has a very, very good defense, but it's not as
certainly from a personnel standpoint.
It's not as good as we were thinking it was going to be.
Yeah. Number 7, Diego Pavia. Number 6, Taylor Green, with a down arrow next to his name. He had some ugly turnovers last week.
Especially at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Tried
Don't
to
love
give
that.
Auburn that
Don't
football
love
game.
that. Number 5, Trinidad Chambliss.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Gunnar Stockton. Number 3, Marcel Reed.
Oh, there he is.
Number 2, Joey Swagular. Number 1, Ty Simpson.
Solid list.
Great job.
Yep. And if, for those of you wondering, like, we changed it on the live just now, but we don't delete tweets. We stand in the pain. We take L's. That's what we do. So I messed up. I left Marcel Reed off the top 10 list on the national list. I should have put him on there.
Mm-hmm.
Ags fans, go smoke me in that one. But don't show back up on the Saturday one when I said that y'all were going to roll, and then you rolled. I do find this is what I have found about this industry, not to get bogged down to this point. But I have found that in our industry, where you are wrong or when you say something that person does not like, that's all they remember.
Mm-hmm.
They don't remember all the times you were right or all the times you said something good about their football team. I'm really finding this out about Auburn fans, honestly. I don't think they're going to circle back on us. I was too harsh. But I gave them the real about Hugh Freeze 18 months before they were ready for it to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're ready to, pitchforks and grenades.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. We got to talk in-house about how to curve that. How to be right and be early when your gut tells you. But maybe do it with a soft hand so the people can accept it a little better.
We'll get to work on that.
We'll get thinking.
Get right on it right now. Great on bad teams. Taylor Green, Mensa, sorry, Robson. That was the national list. We have a segment presented by one Jonathan Williams. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and rate, reviewing. Unexpected chaos this weekend, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Insert spooky tones.
I was just kind of looking down the schedule for this upcoming week, and we're late in the year. So we're at a point in the season where you have a good idea of what each team is. Like when you go down the rankings and you see Ohio State, you feel like you know who Ohio State is. You think you know who Indiana is. You think you know who Texas A&M is. Like all these things. And more specifically now, you feel like you get a good gauge of how games should play out every single weekend. But knowing like what this weekend was supposed to be and now what it is now, like this weekend was supposed to be jam-packed with nothing but ranked matchups, top 25 matchups. Like South Carolina's game this weekend against Ole Miss was supposed to be a bigger one. Ohio State, Penn State was supposed to be a much larger matchup. SMU versus Miami going into the season, that might have been listed as probably the top matchup in conference play going into this year, considering what SMU did last year. None of that is true anymore, but I think there is some potential for some unexpected chaos because now you're looking at the schedule and you're like, well, these guys just play a bunch of unranked opponents now. I'm not really expecting much of this weekend. Well, let me just rattle down the list. First off, Ohio State, the number one team in the country, going up against Penn State. They're 20.5-point favorites. Ohio State should handle this team. Penn State down in the dumps. Obviously, that's why James Franklin is no longer there, and I would say it has only gotten worse since then. How could it not? But just some unexpectedness of still a big-time matchup, and it's still a matchup between two teams in a conference that face each other a lot, have a lot of history with one another. You just never really know. We've seen some 20.5-point spreads get spoiled in the Big Ten this year for sure. So not saying Ohio State, you're on upset alert, but just kind of throwing the idea out there of there might be some unexpected chaos in that one. One I mentioned earlier, South Carolina versus Ole Miss. We just saw South Carolina give Alabama everything that they could ask for. Now, South Carolina now 3-4 on the year, a losing record. Playoffs down the drain. Obviously, that was before last week anyways. Now you're really battling for a spot in bowl eligibility. But still, South Carolina proving to be one of these teams of Ole Miss. You've gone down a tough stretch of teams. You've had some big matchups as of late. You had to play Georgia, then you had to go play Oklahoma. Now maybe you feel like you get a breather at home against South Carolina. I think that might be proven otherwise. Louisville versus Virginia Tech. Louisville 16th in the country right now. Virginia Tech, the home team in this one. I think that the ACC has kind of been jumbled around quite a bit this year. It looked like Florida State might be a real contender in this conference. That shies away. Miami, they look like they're just going to cruise through the conference. They get handed a loss. Louisville, now kind of one of the teams that's like, hey, that might be a playoff contender, but you got to go on the road to Virginia Tech, a team that has been down, to say the least, but you never know. Miami falls into this mix as well. I have their matchup, I believe, written wrong on this one. But Miami this weekend and their opponent, I think that this could be another. I feel this way now for Miami, considering what happened to them against Louisville. I think that we have less answers about Miami than we did through the first 4 weeks of the season when they were just kind of cruising along, and it was like, well, all their tough opponents are behind them. SMU, that's right. For some reason, I have Houston written down as that one.
Not a big matchup.
Texas schools. I don't know
Perhaps,
what you're doing there.
I don't know. But yeah, Miami at SMU. Now, SMU, they're pretty bad this year. It is not what they did last year. Kevin Jennings and that crew has not been putting up the amount of points that they were last year. They were an offensive juggernaut last season. But this year, it's just been down on both sides of the ball. They're kind of trying to figure out a way to get the momentum back in their favor. We have an opportunity this weekend. You have a home game against Miami. Miami struggled for a half last week, but then they really picked things up against Stanford, and they ended up demolishing them. But I think Miami's kind of in this lull a little bit where they're trying to find the momentum themselves. This weekend might get them in trouble. And then the final one, Georgia, number 5, against Florida in a neutral site rivalry matchup. I think this is more so to do with the unexpectedness from Florida. You don't know how they're going to respond to Billy Napier being fired. Georgia, defensively, they've had some questions. They've had some bad first halves. It happened last year against this team as well. They managed to come back from a deficit at half and absolutely demolish them in the second half. But you never know with these rivalries. You know, there might be some unexpected chaos yet again where you might get into some deep water a little bit against a Florida team that, hey, they still seem to believe, those players at least, the guys that are still playing, they seem to believe in that program still.
Boy, that'd be pretty scary.
That would be
Boy, that'd be pretty spooky. It is spooky season, Jonathan.
It is.
Before these games are kicked off this weekend, Halloween will already have commenced. Are you guys big Halloween guys?
No.
I appreciate
Whoa,
it.
hold on, boss. You said that sternly.
Yeah.
Why are you so opposed to the spooky seas?
I just think it's an overrated holiday.
Oh, yeah?
Now, like, don't get me wrong.
I mean, it's not nationally known. It's not nationally notified, so it's not technically a holiday. Thus, I would say it's underrated. You should get it off of work.
As a kid, it is a fun time. It's great as a child. So I'm sure that also when you have kids as a parent, it becomes a great
not even.
You got to go walk around the neighborhood.
It's good.
Yeah, like it's fun to see your kids.
I'm sure
get
if I was still drinking, it'd be a blast. The idea of like doing the bar cart as a parent, walking around eating candy all night, scaring kids. Boo! Yeah, I'd be all about it.
But yeah, as I've gotten older, it's just like I have no affinity to go drinking on Halloween night. I don't like the idea of a packed out bar and I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of people.
Yeah, no, the partying phase of the Halloween leaves the moment you get out of college.
Oh, yeah.
The moment.
It's gone.
I feel like it left when I got into college. I was just like,
you know what? You got my kind of guys. My kind of guys right here.
I just like the idea of like I got to go buy a costume or figure out a costume and dress up as something that I probably don't want to dress up as.
The next intern that is not a robot will have to install some way to insert a spooky season soundtrack right about now. Because here's our next segment. If I would have told you preseason that Ohio State is going to be able to get by Texas with a 14-point win, and then there are a 14-point scoring effort, all right, and then go the remainder of their conference schedule all the way up until a Big Ten championship game with a rookie quarterback that will never once ever be stressed again until early December. Boy, that'd scare the hell up out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know how well Ohio State recruits. I know how well they stack rosters. I know how well that offense will ultimately be once the quarterback gets comfortable. And they got 13 weeks to do it. Or 12 games, really 11 after week 1, to just foot off the gas, relax, take a breather, get ready for Michigan.
And honestly, this would scare me as an Ohio State fan too. Because if you haven't...
I don't necessarily believe in this theory. We ain't been tested, so we don't know who we are
Ohio
as a fan.
Ohio State fans don't seem to be too scared of anybody.
Yeah,
I guess not. But I mean, it could come back to be like, oh no.
We got a couple of them in the chat right now, and they're talking about, brother, feet up. We living good.
Now, look, there is some legitimacy to your claim because we saw this happen to Oregon last year. Where Oregon got through that one game against Ohio State, and it was like, we're good. We just got to get to the Big Ten championship. You make it to the Big Ten championship, you win, you're undefeated going into the playoff. Oh, we just got demolished by Ohio State in the playoff. That didn't last very long. So there's some legitimacy to your caution around this, but I mean.
But no, the adverse of that is that is very scary, knowing that one of the more talented rosters in the country that will have a chip on their shoulder after winning a title,
walking the dog through the park,
hasn't strained a bit.
Nope.
Oh. Going to be fresh when they get to the playoff.
What if I told you preseason that Tennessee had a Heisman caliber quarterback in Joey Aguilar?
Oh, I would have said, well, yeah.
I know what you would have said.
I would have said toe to toe.
I think that other people, and maybe people that didn't believe in Joey Aguilar, I think they would have told you that you were crazy, the fact that Joey Aguilar would be a Heisman candidate this late in the season. But I think that would certainly reinstill a lot of fear in Tennessee coming into this season, because last year one of the biggest reasons why people didn't fear Tennessee is because of the issues that they had at quarterback and the issues that they had at offensively in general outside of Dylan Sampson. But that would also, me thinking about that, like if someone told me this about Joey Aguilar, I would immediately go, oh, so those weapons were way better than what I thought they were going to be this season, because that was my biggest question about them going into the year is, well, what is Chris Brazzell going to look like? What is Staley going to look like? Mike Matthews, seems like we have a bunch of unproven prospects in that wide receiver. I'm not sure what to think of that. That would have been my immediate thought process.
You just reminded me of how questionative I was of this receiving core going into the season.
Yeah.
It's all I felt like I talked about. I knew the quarterback was going to be an improvement, and I think I was the only one to that take. But, yeah, all I talked about was, man, they're not deep enough.
It was my big concern, too.
Who is it? Like, Chris Brazzell didn't look all that great year one in this system. Mike Matthews, year zero, as a freshman, didn't look like it should have as a 5-star. The Braylon Staley kid, immediately from the moment he stepped on campus, they were like, we got a ball player. Mm-hmm. This kid's going to play for us. But the other stuff's been a slow burn for them.
Yeah.
And I think it has a lot to do with their quarterback. Hey, we talked about this pre-show. Freddie Krueger was known for kind of, oh, you think I'm gone? Oh, you think you're good? Oh, you think you can sleep tonight? Oh, you're all right. The nightmares have ended. Boom! Just kill you out of nowhere. I'm back. Now you can't sleep for the next 6 weeks. None of your partners and them neither. This is kind of what's happened to Florida State. Florida State just walked around 2-10, nightmare down Elm Street for a year. And then, I slept one good night against Alabama. Immediately rip your heart back out, Freddie, to nightmare back on Elm Street down there.
So Mike Norvell is Freddie Krueger.
Yeah, but the face ain't burnt off yet.
No.
That seat getting hot.
Hasn't gotten fired. No, that would be horrifying as a Florida State fan because, I mean, the agony that you went through in 2024
is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Hypothetically, if I was a Florida State fan, the agony that you went through in 2024 to immediately turn around and be like, wait, we just beat Alabama. We are back. This is 2023 again. We are fine. And then to follow it up with what this season has been, it's terrifying. This one isn't necessarily terrifying, but it is kind of strange to think about. What if I told you in like May that the Vanderbilt Commodores would be a top 10 team in the month of November?
Ooh. I think I would have bought it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have bought it.
To this point, they've played LSU and Missouri
and Bama.
So that you would have told me they went 2 out of 3 against those, and I would say, yeah, okay, yeah, I got it. I would have been fine with it. The LSU thing would have made me scratch my head preseason.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't have been there.
Yeah, I wouldn't have bought top 10.
I would have bought 6-2 to this point. 7-1 preseason is a little bit surprising to me.
If you said, hey, Vanderbilt's top 20, I'd been like, okay, so they're like 18th in the country.
Let's
I
not
wouldn't
forget.
have felt like Jason just moved in next door.
Well, let's not forget, guys, South Carolina was on this list at the start of the year, too.
Correct.
Like, that was a tough game for them preseason.
Yeah.
For
sure. So the fact that they've done what they've done. Now,
that was a road game, too.
Yeah.
They got very, very lucky the quarterback wasn't
the
there.
cards have fallen perfectly in their favor. South Carolina's down. Missouri's quarterback got hurt. LSU, not very good, turns out. Like, all of the surrounding things have been there. But Vanderbilt is a top 10 college football team, and we are in the final month of the regular season. That's insane.
What if I told you preseason that, hey, we got to cut the college football season short. It ends Halloween night. We're immediately going into the playoffs. Your ACC representatives are Georgia Tech and Virginia.
Oh. Ew. That's more like grossing me out than terrifying.
Those are your 2 top teams in the ACC right now.
I'm buzzing off the Who's.
I would have been like, what the heck happened to Miami?
Hey, you just going to buzz right over that one? I'm buzzing off the Who's? Come on, man.
The Who's? What's
the Who's booze? Come on, bro. Y'all not playing at the level and wavelength that I am tonight.
Sorry. Yeah, that one I
got the buzzing from you. I got the buzzing.
Yeah, the buzzing. I was like, okay, but I thought you said hooves.
Hooves.
I was like, the hooves? They don't have hooves. Yeah.
Well, no, that would be.
And there's still potential for that to happen.
How about Indiana would be undefeated, first place in the Big Ten, and by the way, Kurt Signetti would have just signed his extension, so it's not like he's going anywhere.
I would have peeped the schedule. But the Oregon thing would have been like,
road win against Oregon.
Yeah, that would have been the one where I'm like, okay. But again, I think that's a 6-1 football or a 7-1 football team that's 8-0, and we're like, whoa. But I think they would have been 7-1. What's their other big win this year? Illinois? They beating
the hell out of Illinois.
Beat the crap out of them.
Preseason viewers just told me they beat Illinois. I'm like,
okay.
So
Illinois was not the dark horse that
you know what I mean?
thought they were.
So Illinois was not 9-3.
No.
So I don't think it would have been like, again, don't think it would have been like, I'm running out of scary people characters. Scream just moved next door. I don't think I would have been spooked out by that one. You got any more?
I got one more. What if I told you in the preseason that neither one of Texas or Georgia would be a leader to play for a conference title by week 10?
I would honestly believe that.
I wouldn't have.
If you would have told him Texas A&M was at the top of it, he would have moved out of the
That I would not believe.
He would have bought a new home.
Here's what I would.
Get the sauce
He would have thought the doll moved upstairs, you know?
The reason why I say that, and I think the bigger one there is Georgia you could believe because it's like, okay, they played Ole Miss and Alabama at that point. There could be a loss there. It's understandable why they may not be in a driver's seat for an SEC title. But going into the season, because we did this last year as well, but going in the year, it's like, well, Texas' schedule, that's nothing for them.
Yeah,
and they get two of their tougher opponents later in the year. Like, at that point in the year, they could certainly be undefeated, like especially thinking what everybody assumed Arch Manning was going to be for the entirety of the season. I think that's the big kicker there.
How about this one? What if I told you that 3 of the top 4 preseason teams by this point of the season would be ranked outside of the top 10? 2 of them would be unranked. One of them would have already fired their coach. That's insane to me. Having 3 of the top 4 preseason teams not even really coming close to sniffing a playoff other than the Texas Longhorns, whose hopes are hanging on by a thread.
Honest to God, you know what the scariest thing for a football coach is right about now? The most terrifying thing in this entire industry. Me hitting in stream on Sunday's live reaction shows.
No, yeah.
The moment I hit that sucker, you are cooked, brother. You are absolutely cooked. I mean, I can't even lie to you. I mean, the moment I ended it 3 weeks ago, James Franklin, see your ass. The moment I ended it last weekend after Billy's, gone, see you. Or 2 weeks ago. This weekend, it was immediately Pete Nakos, rumblings, staff meetings, LSU, Brian Kelly tweets started going off. I mean, just like that. That's the most terrifying thing right about now in the industry. For all the coaches that are watching right about now. We're picking up steam in the coaching world. I'm going to tell you that right now.
That's good.
I mean, it definitely helps being on the conference leader every Tuesday at 4:30. You should be there. But yeah, the adage of your favorite college football coach subscribes, you should too. That ain't no game, homie. That's what it is. Shout out to the water boy. What are we doing next?
We've got
Talk to him Tuesday.
We can talk to him Tuesday.
Let's go and bring him on down. Agent Brooks, time to put on the cap. Do agents wear hats? I've never seen an agent wear a hat. Let's wear the agent hat for a minute. I don't like to tell people how to live, but I'm going to talk to Deion Sanders for a second. It's Tuesday afternoon. You just got beat 52-7 by a first-time starting quarterback that I think is a true freshman, number 15 out there at Utah. It was bad. They could have ran the Wildcat and scored 49. I mean, they ran for 430 some odd yards in 4 quarters against you. It was bad. And here's the deal. I know this is a calling. I know that we get a pat. Like I'm someone who feels called and compelled to coach football as well. But you are one of these people. And I'm very much speaking selfishly here about Deion. I am one of these people that thinks that is an untarnishable, untouchable type of aura. A type of person that has a legacy that is unstainable unless you out here going 2-10 in Boulder. You know what I mean? Unless like it was just about that's what it's going to be. That's what haters are going to do. And I know you don't care about haters, but I do. As someone who thinks like I've been around Deion. Deion is one of these people that walks like he's floating, despite the fact that he don't have toes. Like he feels like he is on a different level. He's missing a couple.
I know, that's still kind of crazy.
He's missing a couple. Those are the facts. He has a couple toes. The fact that he walks like he's floating on air, dude, is all I'm trying to say. He walks like he is not from this planet.
That point was made.
And when we are, he feels like he is made to feel like his legacy is getting a little bit tarnished by what's going on right now from a coaching standpoint. And I don't want that to happen. That's all I'm saying. Probably should have made the toe joke. That's on me.
No,
that's definitely on me.
I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. In that. This does probably need to be the last year that you're a head coach. Obviously,
we didn't want to do the walked out when my kids walked out thing, and I get that.
Well, that as well, and I think that would have been as equally damning to the legacy of, this guy was just here to push his kids and Travis Hunter forward. what kind of a slime ball act from Deion Sanders. So I understand and I respect the fact that he is staying this year, but I do agree with you. It's probably time to move on from Colorado.
The other thing about this is that his ability to just go get a bunch of transfers, and I'm not saying he was up for those players that Texas Tech has, but how are you going to out-transfer portal what Texas Tech is doing right now? You're not gonna. Like, you're going to get – and I'm not saying that's who they're getting beat to. I don't even think they played Texas Tech this year. But all I'm saying is, like, this is a program that it doesn't look to me like he can go rebuild it through the portal every single year.
Yeah.
It also doesn't look like there's any momentum here. The shine of Deion being there has the shine of Prime has kind of worn off.
Yeah, you know that because we have so many jobs open right now across college football.
It's Ato.
Okay.
I think he's got 9.
But there's so many job openings right now, and with the few amount that were open last year, you saw Deion's name float as, hey, Deion Sanders might be a good option for this job. There's like 13 jobs open right now, and I don't see Deion Sanders' name being thrown around.
8.
Yeah, I think it's the big toe and the pink, like the next one.
Corner toes.
Yeah.
All right, enough of that. Let's bring Matt Rule in.
All right.
Come on, Matt Rule. We better lock in, dude. Like, if I'm your agent right now, like, I know we're already getting paid buku money right now in Nebraska, and that's great, but we got the opportunity. You called me up 3 weeks ago trying to get James Franklin up out of his job, and I had to go call your buddy that's the AD out there at Penn State to get it done, and now you're a 6.5-point dog at home after looking like crap against Northwestern and losing to Minnesota. So, hey, we better lock in this weekend, because I'm going to tell you right now, Matt, if we lose by 17 points at home to USC, we might not just be 5-3 on the year or whatever it is. We might end up losing our quote-unquote dream job at our alma mater. So we better lock in right now, because the Trojans are coming to town, and they might out-explosive you for 4 quarters, and they probably will. So the defense better show up too, because this very well could get ugly.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Very well could get ugly. And if it does, you ain't got to worry about the Penn State message board, dudes. You got to have to worry about the AD who's your buddy calling you and be like, but I can't hire you no more. We haven't publicly announced it. I know we talked about you being in a shoe-in here, but we got to look elsewhere, dude. You're 5-3.
That's why I gave the opinion of, dude, if they give you the opportunity to take the job that day and go ahead and go over to Penn State that day, you should have. Because Matt Rule came into this season talking about, well, it's year 3, and we're a year 3 program.
Year 3 rule.
It's a year 3 rule. And that has not applied to you this season. It's been an underwhelming year for you so far, and it looks like it's only getting worse. And as a head coach, I feel like we should have foreseen that and been like, oh, yeah, we'll go ahead and take that other job right now while it's available. Because right now, those options might be tightening up a little bit.
After the Michigan game, I would have been like, all right, we are not good against one of these top-end rosters. We need to watch out.
This could honestly be a blessing in disguise for Penn State, because for as much of a grand slam home run candidate Matt Rule was, you just fired a guy because he couldn't beat top 10 teams and went and hired the guy that can't beat ranked teams because he went to your school and rebuilt Temple that one time. Like, I didn't understand the thought process in that anyway. So the fact that Nebraska might be struggling now could honestly maybe save Penn State from a Matt Rule regime that might not be successful.
Maybe he's just stoked. Maybe he's sandbagging for that Nebraska at Penn State game, and then he's going to go in there and drop 60 on the head top.
Very well could happen.
And then take the job post-game. I'm coming home. After I just waxed it, I'm coming home.
Dylan, pack your bags. You're coming with me.
You and your little brother. He's a Nittany Lion. Let's bring in Georgia Tech on in next.
The whole team?
Well, we got a lot to do here tonight, but we have to listen a while. I smell it in the air. It is something fishy going on right in front of your desk. There's something fishy going on right in front of your desk. That's where the honey hole's at. You know, sometimes you gotta work that jig. All right, you gotta finesse it just a tad bit, and then set the hook. You know what I mean? There's something fishy going on out in North Carolina this weekend. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but there is a top 10 football team that's undefeated with a damn Heisman contender on the road. And he's a 5.5-point favorite against a 4-4 conference opponent. There's some fishy stuff going on in this Georgia Tech North Carolina State football game. The Buzztown, only a 5.5-point favorite this weekend. Something's going on. Tell me what it is.
I don't know. I mean, this is the second time that Georgia Tech has made it on the fishy lines. Because
Brent Key, let me talk to you. You go up there to Raleigh, North Carolina, and you show C.J. Bailey what this Buzz D is all about.
Oh,
what?
You heard me. Go on, show them what that Buzz D is about.
You pointed at it, too. That's crazy. The context alone is fine, but pointing at it when you say it.
You don't know nothing about me with this Barbie pole. I'm Bill Dance.
This is the second time that Georgia Tech has made an appearance on the fishy lines. They were an underdog against Duke. Now, that one went in their favor. They handled business in that one. This time, you got to do it against NC State, who is one of these teams in the ACC that I guess they're like an any given Saturday team where, yeah, the record may not look great. Yeah, it looks like you should handle them. They're not in contention for anything at the moment, but probably better than what they look like on paper.
I have nothing negative to say about Georgia Tech because they've handled every test that's been put in front of them. But there's something weird going on with this team of how it's kind of, why is Hanks King not a Heisman contender? Why is Georgia Tech not a top 5 team? They're undefeated. They've handled all their challenges. Stuff like this makes me very interested to see what the rest of the season's going to look like for them. Honestly, they might be the Miami of this year, where through the first 7 or 8 games,
dump the take.
Through the first 7 or 8 games, it's like, hey, they look really good, beating all the teams they're facing. Have a quarterback that should be in the Heisman contention, and then the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season they fall apart. They have a hard game remaining on the schedule, and obviously some more challenges ahead according to Vegas. So you know what? Should I do it?
You want to open this umbrella and door and put a hex on them right now?
Yeah, give me the umbrella.
I thought this was something you're not supposed to do.
That's what the point is, Jonathan.
Yes,
he's putting a spooky hex on Georgia Tech.
But he's doing it to himself.
No. He's doing it to Georgia Tech via secondhand vibe.
Oh, okay.
I'm now identifying as a Georgia Tech fan for the remainder of this segment.
Buzz down. Woo!
Put the hex on Georgia Tech this season because I don't know if that's necessarily a playoff team. Oh, shoot. It keeps going. You're cursed, Tech. You heard it here first.
Dang. I got a ladder over there, too. You want to walk up underneath and stretch? I got a black cat upstairs. That's no joke either.
No, it's not. Spooky. It's a haunted house.
Didn't strike you as a cat guy, did a J. Will.
Wait, what'd you say? I
didn't strike you as a cat guy, did a J. Will.
I'm not. No, I'm not a cat guy.
My boy Bolt is an OG. I had a random thought that I want to talk about. It was a serious football topic. It's going to bug me.
But while you're thinking about that, let's go ahead and give a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. It's up in the top left corner here. Sleeper is a daily fantasy sports gaming app that is focused on bringing people together. It has over 6 million users. That's old metrics. It's way more than that by now, but they didn't send us one. We'll figure that out later. Use promo code Brooks today to get a $100 deposit match, up to a $100 deposit match on your first deposit. That's promo code Brooks. Thank you, Sleeper.
Promo code Brooks, 100% deposit match, up to $100. Sleeper's the #1 gaming app in the world. Community, get in on the action today. Promo code Brooks, 100% deposit match. I know what I thought about. So, you know I'm pro Hypel, right? I'm big hype train guy. I'm Mr. Hype Train. I'm big Tennessee offense wide choice. I'm big time. All right? That being said, where's the line of a program? Like, I think Tennessee is a top 8 to 12 range annual expectation program. Do you agree or disagree? They're not. Are they in that top 5? They can be occasionally, but I don't think they should be demanding every year to be national champions. They're not Ohio State. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the funny thing about college football. There's 10 teams that demand top 5 results.
That's fine. I'm saying, but there are 5 teams that demand top 1 results.
Yeah.
And here's where I'm getting at. When we get to a name like Alex Golesh, let's say Alex Golesh goes on an unconscious run. Mm-hmm. Wide choice can't be ran at LSU.
Probably
agree or
not.
disagree?
I would agree with that.
I don't think. You see what I'm saying? I don't think wide choice should be ran at Ohio State. I don't think wide choice should be ran at Georgia. I think there are certain programs that need schematical advantages. They need to game the system. Some people look at that as gimmick. I look at coaches finding advantages within the scheme because their players can't just line up and play ball. All right? LSU is a line up and play ball football program. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I do wonder if these coaches, though they can win, if Heupel is Tennessee his dream job, he played at Oklahoma. I don't know what the number one job in America for Heupel is, but Heupel shouldn't be up for the LSU job, is what I'm saying. I don't think he would take it. Tennessee fans, don't get me wrong. But I'm trying to get through this conversation in my head of, does Alex Golesh and Josh Heupel do schematic-based coaches that do it wide sticky? Do they have a ceiling in terms of job profile? See what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
But there's only like 5 of these. There's like 6 of these. Like, I think Georgia's one of these, Ohio State's one of these, Texas is one of these, Bama's one of these, LSU is one of these. That's it. Everywhere else, this becomes a doable thing.
No, yeah. I mean, I think it does make sense. This isn't the best example, but it's one I can think of. You know, there were years where Paul Johnson had Georgia Tech as a successful program, or many would say that is a very successful season, but he ran the triple option. Now, that's to an extreme. That's like that's an offensive style that nobody runs and that you would ideally really not like to run. But
dude, during the Jeff Collins era, do you know how many Georgia Tech fans I knew, shout out John Knight, that would be like, bro, give me Paul Johnson back tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean,
give me Paul Johnson in the triple tomorrow. But anyways, I do think there are certain programs that like, and I only mentioned this because I've been reading a lot of these LSU candidate lists and stuff like that, and I see Alex Golesh's name, and I'm like, I don't know if they want that. I think they want the results. I don't think they want to watch wide choice. And I don't think it's a program with the identity of that. Mm-hmm. Tennessee's fun, flash, points, let's go. You know what I mean? It's not dude ball.
I mean, LSU could be the fun, flash, and points. Like, I know that's not the scheme it was, but that's very much what that 2019 offense.
I can't believe I called him Jeff and not Geoff. That's crazy. Absolutely insane for me. Boys.
Uh-oh.
Time to pay your dues.
Can I use the restroom before I pay my dues? Because if I put the gloves on, I can't really go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
I would rather
y'all do this and tell me what the games are, all that good stuff. I'm not listening or nothing.
You know, we really don't ever look at the board and kind of recap what has happened recently.
Honest to God, I think it's impressive. If you try to lose and you're 11 games under 500, not bad. Just to say.
Well, that's also accounting the first 2 weeks when he was trying to win and was like 3-7 and was doing so bad that he said, you know what, I'm just going to start trying to lose. So, yes, it's impressive, and yes, if you would have made the most money this season so far if you had faded Brooks, obviously, but you know.
Yeah, you and I are flirting with the dangerous territory.
We're at that near 500 level. We're
can't be lukewarm.
Barely making money. But you know what? Having a positive record I'll take it. If you go through an entire college football season.
Well, that was something.
I'm not sure what that walk was. Hey. If you go through an entire college football season and you make a profit off of it, whether it's $1 or $1,000, you're a winner in my book. So,
all right, 11 games under 500. Let me put these here gloves on. Hold on. All right, what's our first game, Jonathan? In all seriousness, while I put these gloves on.
First game, we have Vanderbilt at Texas. Texas, a 2.5-point favorite.
Texas versus Mississippi State had 35 possessions total in that football game. This one might have 17. Got to find out if Arch is playing before I put any quiche on this one right here.
Great point.
If not, the real question I got, and the one that should be asked by Texas media, if they know ball. You know ball? You ask Steve Sarkisian, hey, how mobile is this Caldwell cat? How good is he? How mobile? How much of an athlete is he? Because y'all's best passing offense has only been created through the legs of number 16. So I need to know about Mr. Caldwell. Are you a baller? Can you move around? If it's going to be Mr. Caldwell, I know he can rip it. There ain't no doubt. Buddy can spin it. He a little older cat. Transfer, graduate transfer. Been sitting on the bench. But is locked in. So says Steve Sarkisian. That's the thing I want to know before I bet this one, because Arch's legs were very, very important. I think Vandy wins, but give me Texas.
What's the line again?
I think 3.5.
2.5. 2.5.
So I'm very, very torn up on this one. Let's flip a Lucy's. Texas.
I do want to note that if Arch does play, I would say that Texas wins. If he does not play, I would say that Texas probably loses that game. So this is kind of it puts myself in a really tough predicament here. I would say that Texas is the best defense that Vanderbilt will have played up to this point, but Vanderbilt has just found ways to win. They did it so against last week in a defensive battle against Missouri. Neither offense could really move the ball. Vanderbilt forces a turnover, and they score immediately off the turnover that ultimately wins in the game. So not only are they winning, but they're also doing it so in like situations where you have to win those moments. They're winning those moments so far, other than against Alabama. So I want to say that Vanderbilt wins, but I'm going to stick with my gut. I think that Texas does take down Vanderbilt this weekend.
Horns up, John.
So give me Texas minus 2.5.
Attaboy.
I don't know how to go about this because I think it's very obvious that Arch Manning's injury was head trauma related. I've never been a huge advocate for rushing players back onto the field after that. And in my history of players who do come back from concussions with kind of, rapid timetables, their output has never been great. If Arch Manning's coming back 7 days after what I think we all saw him getting knocked out on the field,
cold,
I don't feel great about that.
Not great.
If I'm Steve Sarkisian, I'm not going to feel great about Arch Manning playing like Arch Manning in this game. That makes me more apropos to lead towards Vanderbilt, so I'm going to take Vanderbilt in this game. But I do very well agree with you guys that this absolutely could go Texas's way simply because of that defense.
It's the only game on the slate that I feel like is a dead cold toss-up for me.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a 1-4 slate this week for me. I'm feeling hot.
Ooh.
All right, well, next game, Oklahoma at Tennessee. The Volunteers are favored by 3.5.
Like this one, for example, and we're going to get into this tomorrow. I don't want to spoil my predictions. But I think Tennessee's defense has a real chance to absolutely wreck this football game. Like, get after this Oklahoma offensive line. I think Joey is hot as a firecracker. I think Tennessee rolls in this football game. So give me Oklahoma.
Ah, there you go.
Oklahoma has the defense that you need to compete against an offense like Tennessee. But as I mentioned yesterday, Tennessee's offense has done well against any defense that you've thrown in front of them. They have put up points. They put it up in bunches. Joey Aguilar has continued to play well outside of their game against Alabama. But I think that you would say that maybe offense wasn't the exact issue in that one. And despite the fact that Tennessee's defense has struggled this year, they've been very underwhelming so far this year. Oklahoma's offense isn't lighting it up. It isn't like they're continuing to ascend this year under John Mateer. In fact, I would say that they have regressed. So you're going to give Neyland Stadium a night game against Oklahoma. I like Tennessee in this one. I think that Tennessee can make this one ugly. I said it yesterday. I think that they could score a bunch of points, and Oklahoma just can't keep up the pace. So I will happily take Tennessee minus 3.5.
I agree with you all the way. I think that we are in the spiral opportunity for Oklahoma. They've lost 2 games in a row. They were ranked top 5 in the country. Now the college football playoff doesn't seem to be necessarily a sure thing for them. Might not even happen. John Mateer does not look like anything like he looked the first 5 weeks of the season. I think that while that Oklahoma defense is very good, Tennessee's offense is going to explode. They just do. That's just what they do on offense. There's no one that really can stop them. You can prevent it. You can force turnovers. But they're going to score points. I like Tennessee at home in this one.
Ironically enough, I'm wearing a suggestion. John Mateer from the ear should wear Teddy 2 gloves on Saturday.
You want him to Kenny Pickett?
Yeah, the reason Kenny wear it because he got tiny hands. Kenny got little man hands, and that's why he needs extra grip strength. And these things have tremendous tensile strength. They help you grip the football. So if you need help gripping the ball, put Teddy 2s on. In all seriousness,
or just throw left-handed. Cincinnati at Utah. Utah minus 8.5. This is a big-time matchup for Big 12.
Yeah, this is going to be.
Honest to God, I am one of these people that I don't shy away from telling you I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I am short on an educational area in college football, I'll be the first one to tell you. This will be the first time I've watched Cincinnati on live television since they played Nebraska.
You've been missing some good football.
I'm sure. Sormsby's been playing great. Mm-hmm. I know.
I watched the Kansas game.
I'm not saying I'm not watching Cincy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm not paying attention.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm not up at 2 o'clock in the morning checking on what Cincy did on the 30-minute mashups. I'm saying the first time that I've said it's a 10:30 game. I'm going to sit down and watch Cincinnati Bearcat football for 4 full quarters for the first time since Nebraska. And I will be the first and only analyst that's at this large of a platform that is that honest with you. And I bet all of them are that way. I bet you might have second screen Cincy this year. I bet you might have third screen Cincy this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
have you primo screen Cincy since they played Nebraska on a Friday night?
No.
Yeah.
I have because I don't have multi-screen ability.
Oh.
So I have to selectively choose.
Oh,
You chose the Bearcats. I bet you chose them against my Cyclones, didn't you?
Yeah, I did
You damn
actually.
hater. You damn hater. Hating on my Cyclones.
This could fall under fishy lines to me because Cincinnati has been one of these teams that I think has continued to get better throughout the season.
Little trout line.
Yeah, Utah favored by 8.5 points heading into this one. But now Utah, they've stayed pretty steady throughout the year. Now they had a stinker against Texas Tech. That was the one where I was like, this is the big test for them. We're going to find out if they're one of the elite programs in this conference. And a backup quarterback came in and shredded that defense.
I'm glad you mentioned it. 8.5. Vegas knows something. I think what they know is Utah's run game is elite.
Yep.
Cincinnati's run game is mediocre. Vegas knows something. Vegas don't know nothing. Give me my Bearcats.
I'm always going to side with Vegas in these games.
Exactly is a Bearcat.
I don't know.
Is it a cat or a bear?
Both.
Is it a bear or a cat?
Not sure.
Black with white stripes, white with black stripes.
Vegas, I typically am one to side with Vegas when I feel like that they know something that I don't, and it seems like
Vegas don't know nothing.
They know something that I don't in this matchup. As much as I love Brennan Sorsby and how well he's playing, and I think that the offense has the ability to compete with Utah in this one, I'm going to side with Vegas and say that Utah does win this game. But I don't. You know what? I take that back. I think Utah wins. I think Cincinnati covers 8.5.
I mean, at least you're decisive. Yeah.
For the purpose of time, I'll just say I'll take Utah.
Are we pinned up on it?
To cover this
I think
game.
we got plenty. We got ample.
You think so? All right. Well, I think Utah has the better advantage with the running game that they've shown this year. I trust Cincinnati to keep this game close. I think their defense has been pretty stout, but I'm going with Utah.
All right, moving on. We got Miami minus 12.5 at SMU. Potential for some unexpected chaos, might I add.
SMU's a bad football team this year. I mean, that game against Wake Forest was not good at all. And the fact that they've not looked anything like themselves from last year ago, and this game is only 12.5, which makes me feel very intrigued by it. I think we're at a point where we kind of know what Miami is. They're going to try to Carson Beck you to death. And if Carson Beck plays well, they're going to have a really good offensive output. If not, they're going to be stuck behind the wheel for a while. I trust Miami's defensive and offensive line in this game. That's kind of been the catalyst for why I believe in them all season. I don't see an area where SMU really covers this. They're a bad football team. That said, I could absolutely see myself getting torched on it.
SMU playing very mid-tier ACC football right about now, boys. It's another coaching candidate kind of fluttering right about now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That one teetered off very quickly.
Rhett Lashley at Arkansas seemed like it had a lot of head of steam early. I think Jerry was actually pro because he's there in Dallas. I'm sure they've had conversations.
Right.
You know, if you're searching for oil money, why not start out there with Jerry Jones with your NIL package? I know he's an Arkansas donor and whatnot, but just lost 13-12 to Wake too. What a yuck fest!
Oh, that game was disgusting.
You said it ended pretty poorly too, huh?
Yeah,
Like a strip sack fumble or something like that.
I can't remember fully how. I just remember being at the end of it and thinking, it gave me the same feeling as when I came home at 1:30 last night and saw that the World Series was in 17 innings.
What were you doing coming home at 1:30 last night?
I got back from the gym.
The gym.
You don't believe me?
Nah, I believe you.
But no, I was just being like, oh, this is disgusting. Why would anyone watch this? That's what I got. That's
the World Series?
Yeah.
It was gross?
It was to me, dude.
I heard Shohei hit some nukes.
Yeah,
He must have had Dodgers money line. You got a joke on that?
Yeah, dude.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Of course you can.
I didn't know.
That is absolutely acceptable.
I didn't know if MLB FBI would come get you. I think Miami wins this football game. So for that reason, give me SMU. I don't even need the points.
SMU's been an up and down team, like definition of a team of I don't know what exactly to think about you. And if that's the case, I tend to lean of, well, then I probably need to think that you're not a good team, as Kirby mentioned. Like you have a wins against Clemson, Stanford, Syracuse, Missouri State, and East Texas A&M. So a few like, okay, those are games you should have won, and then you lose to Wake Forest, you lose to TCU, and you lose to Baylor. TCU and Baylor, like, they have good quarterbacks. Like, that one you can understand, especially when they're putting up 48 and 35 points against you. But that also means that your defense isn't very good. And with how explosive this Miami offense has shown that they can be, as good as Mark Fletcher is running the ball right now. The defense, on the other hand, from Miami, they have some up and downs a little bit. Reuben Bain is great, obviously. They have some very big flash plays and wow plays. But Miami also is prone to like kind of dig themselves into a little bit of a hole, and it's kind of unexplainable at times. Like the fact that you're tied 7-7 against Stanford at halftime last week, that's one of those, that doesn't make any sense, especially when you look at the stats for Stanford in the first half. Like, I think their quarterback had 40 passing yards in that one. So there's some unexplainable things that happen for Miami. And 12.5 points is a lot for me. I'm going to say SMU covers a 12.5. So moving on to our final game, we got South Carolina at Ole Miss. Ole Miss, a 12.5 point favorite.
I would be concerned about Dylan Stewart. That guy played through injury last week and wrecked that football game against Georgia or against Alabama. I do worry, though, about this South Carolina defense when Trinidad Chambliss ultimately gets out of the pocket. Because Dylan Stewart going to push him off the spot. There's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. But Trinidad Chambliss getting flat or getting out of a pocket is pretty terrifying right about now. Ooh, bad time to have an eye itch. But nothing about this makes me want to take South Carolina, even though they're getting how many points?
12.5.
I still, just give me the Cox. I mean, I want them to, I'm trying to fade myself here. I think Ole Miss wins this by 14 points, but give me the Cox.
South Carolina.
And I have no sound reason for it other than I'm trying to lose as many games as I possibly can so the fans can fade me.
Yeah, this one's pretty cut and dry for me.
You lukewarm suckers over there, 3 games over 500. Ain't that some poo?
This one's pretty cut and dry for me. I think it's Ole Miss's offense is really good. South Carolina's offense is not very good. They managed to keep themselves in a game against Alabama, but that was more of a defensive effort. I don't care how good your defense is. We saw this last week against Oklahoma and Brent Venables, where Lane Kiffin's always going to find answers. He's going to find ways to score points. He's going to do it a lot. I don't think that South Carolina's offense can hang with this one. Give me Ole Miss minus 12.5.
So there's this thing called Cocktober that everyone really gets excited about. And
that's a crow. How do they? What does a cock sound? What is a rooster? What does it sound like out there at that stadium?
Oh, come on. Every third down. Just play it in your head.
I can't hear it. If I had it, I'd imitate it already.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it for you.
So, but anyways, South Carolina's 0-3 this month. This past game against Alabama was their opportunity for it to kind of be the, hey, this is the Shane Beamer finish strong type mentality where they build the momentum for the next season. It's gone. I think this team's kind of given up. I'm going to go Ole Miss minus the points in this game. I do not believe in South Carolina. They had their kind of win one for the Gipper moment last week and got their hearts absolutely ripped out. This team does not have a lot to play for anymore. How
dare you doubt the Cox?
You look like Cartman when he dressed up as Gordon Ramsay.
I honestly think this kind of looks like a rooster. So that one.
You literally look like, I don't know if you've seen the South Park episode, but there's an episode where Cartman dresses up as Gordon Ramsay. You know, I'm going to find it while you're doing that.
We got a whole nother hour coming up next. Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You like that? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into the Film Guy Network on another loaded local hour. Going to hit some super chubs before we get into our loaded local hour. Sammy Ibrahim, our traveling man, traveling all across the country looking at foosball games, that he's headed to South Carolina at Ole Miss this weekend. Do you think over under 7.5 new coaches in the SEC by next season? By the way, shout out to the hashtag Brooks Curse after he applauded my weekly activities last week. Me and my girlfriend parted ways. Damn it, Bobo.
Oh, my.
I hope that's a joke.
The Brooks curse hitting relationships now?
For those who didn't listen to last week's show, Sammy commented that Sammy's our guy going around all college football.
By the way.
I mean, just ridiculous. Serious topics. We said last week Sammy's got too much going for him. Got a job, he's got a girlfriend, gets to travel around the world, watch college football games. Got games. I'm nervous. I feel bad.
Brooks curse hitting relationships.
I hope he's joking.
Oh, the Brooks curse.
Brooks curse hitting relationships is a new low for you.
I mean, dude.
All right, no, it's not. It's not a new low.
There will never be anything that ever tops the lowest Brooks curse.
That was the ultimate Brooks curse. But as far as this one goes, this is like, wow, another wrinkle that I did not expect.
When can time pass on that one before we can be like, hey, and laugh at the time Brooks tweeted about that one?
It's going to be a minute.
One thing happened.
It's going to be a minute.
Tweeted about it, said it on the show, like all
and
of
then
it.
Boom.
Then disaster.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's going to have to hold off for a minute.
For sure. Part son no. Unknown. Parts unknown. That's what that says. Not part son no. Parts unknown. Real question is how SEC performs in playoffs. That's a real question for everybody. I feel that way about Big Ten. I mean, how do you battle 5 in a row? My neighbor is a Big Ten fan, and he asked me, he's like, do you think Indiana's real? I'm like, yeah, Indiana's real from they're going to make the playoff standpoint, but are they real from can you win 5 games against Oregon in a row? That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
To go win one of these games, you got to play 5 of those in a row. SEC teams have to go through this. We know Bama can do this. They just played 4 of them in a row. Not that all of those teams are playoff teams, but you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, you got to go play 4 or 5 blue chippers in a row. That's tough. I don't know if you're that legit. We'll find out when you go do that. I'm Kirby's stance on that. Go show me. Sub Brooksy, I'm the short guy that saw you at the dog walk. Love you guys, and you have a hell of a crew in that basement. Shout out to Sam Giddens.
Dang,
8240.
Sam Giddens.
He height shamed himself. Don't do that.
You got to identify as something
Don't do
else
that
as
yourself.
the short guy. Come on, man. You're more than that.
Barry B23RIE paid $4.99 for me to flame him. Hear me out, Mike McDaniel for UF job. Boys, I don't know if y'all know this, but you have to be a leader of men to be a college football coach. Like, you could be an X's and O's guru, I wear the glasses and wear cool shoes guy in the league. You have to inspire young men, and I don't know nothing about Mike McDaniels that has ever shown me I'm going to rally the troops. Agree or disagree? I don't watch a lot of Sunday ball.
Yeah, he's
but
not.
But that strikes me as I'm going to game you up. I'm going to X and O you up. And once we get figured out, I don't know how to get my boys to rally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
I saw, and I'm really basing this off one viral clip. The fact that Quinn Ewers, the one that he comes off the field to finish his first ever real playing time in the NFL, and Mike McDaniel cold shoulders him. Doesn't say a word to him, doesn't tap the helmet, doesn't tap the butt, doesn't say, hey, good job, son. Don't do none of it. You can't be like that.
Yeah.
You can't be like that down here on the Saturday game. This is an emotional sport down here. Hey, we got a load of local out for you guys. We got some elite tape to watch. Some tape I am super ecstatic to watch with you guys tonight. Who could be this year's Peanut? Who's going to be the random football player that shows up out of nowhere after the secondary bye and finds out a way in a role to find some playing time on this roster? Kirby went to player availability today. We're going to start a local hour with that. We got spooky season local hour edition. Who needs a big game, possible trap game on the horizon for the University of Georgia, and open jobs that scare you. Christian.
Yes.
That felt weird calling you by your government name.
Was weird.
Kirby. What happened to player pressers today?
So let me start off by saying this
do.
was probably the best.
I don't like that. Bump that left.
What the hell happened to my cameras, dude?
I bet I bumped 4. I bet my fat butt coming back in from something hit camera 4.
I'm fixing it right now.
Yeah.
All right. Let me say, this was probably the best player pressers I've ever covered. We got Jordan Hall and Chauncey Bowens, 2 guys that have a connection to not only this game, but the state of Florida. Very impactful. Obviously, guys that had things to say about this game. Wasn't your cookie-cutter answer of yes, no, just keep working hard. Classic coach speak that's been hammered into my head. So I very much appreciate the SID for doing all that stuff because, again, one of the better days. The answers were electric. We started off with Chauncey Bowens and was immediately asked, hey, what does this game mean to you? For those of you who don't know, he was formerly committed to Florida and is from the state. So he obviously has some understanding between these two programs in this game. Said that I understand what this game means and I love the decision that I made personally. So he is happy to be a Dog. He's happy where he is. He understands the history between it. He's excited to be going home for a game. I think this will be his first game that he actually has an appearance in. He was redshirted last year. He said that he was in the stands for it, or he was in the stadium for it, but did not participate in it last year. He said that his first experience was kind of the wow moment, and this is kind of one you get from most players, is seeing that split from the crowd, the red on one side and the blue on the other. Very, very starstruck thing to be if you're a fan or if you're a football player.
Kirby always talks about, and it's something I never realized until I got there, is how dead the pregame environment is.
Because they're all tailgating.
Yeah, they're all tailgating, all trying to maximize their hammeredness before they come in there and pay $8 for a 12-ounce beer. Or if you're a Happy Noon guy. How about that one dude we met in the parking lot that had been drinking Twisted since 6:30?
Oh, not just Twisted Teas, but the Rocket Pop.
The
Twisted
Rocket
Teas.
Pop Twisted
That's
Teas.
crazy. That guy's going to have diabetes.
That's what I was thinking. The hangover off of that sugar. What'd you have for me else? I mean, yeah, the pregame environment and coming out there after seeing nobody the entire pregame and then coming out to 45,000 this week. Isn't their stadium capacity limited?
It's not limited. It's just parking lots are limited.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like 65,000. It's not a massive stadium.
Yeah, it's not.
It feels big.
It's not. I think it's like 57.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the next question was, hey, there's a lot of players that are on
67.
Florida from the state of Georgia, a lot of players on Georgia from the state of Florida. What's it like when these two recruits kind of intermingle in this type of game? So it's a lot of fun to go against guys that you played with and against in high school. There's a lot of intermingling there, a lot of fun. Was then traced back to, hey, why did you pick Georgia? You were committed to Florida. What ultimately made you want to come here instead? He said that he wanted to be a part of the great legacy of UGA running backs, the Herschel Walkers, the Nick Chubbs, the Todd Gurleys. Those are kind of the guys that these guys have grown up watching when they were kids now. That makes me feel old. He said that he had not made any contact with Florida players in the wake of Billy Napier's firing, so that there's no way to kind of really get a litmus test around what their mentality is or how they're feeling about it. Said that the challenge of running against Florida, we acknowledge the challenge and gave the classic. They're great, good defensive line, strong, all of this, yada, 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 all of those things. Was asked about how he feels. He was battling an injury against Auburn, obviously played in Ole Miss, but how he feels now after the bye week. He feels good and rested. He's excited to play. This was an interesting question, but it was also kind of one that gave a lot of insight. So what makes that jumping in the stands tradition for the winning team? Obviously, you see the pictures every year. The winning
By the way, sorry to cut you off.
No, I appreciate
You sound
that.
like you needed that.
I needed that.
This is a good teammate over here. I'm not cutting my guys off. I'm helping them out. My fat butt would never. They're so much higher. Like, getting up there is hard.
Funny you mentioned that.
They have to get dragged up there. The first guy gets up there and then helps out everybody else.
We'll get to that in the
Sorry.
We'll get to that in our next.
I didn't mean to spoil pressure.
No, it's okay because you didn't even know. So it's
out in the boss right there.
I didn't tell you. I didn't give you the rundown on these notes.
These notes.
It feels good after battling an injury against Auburn. What makes it so special? He said he's looking forward to doing that opportunity because he's going to immediately, if Georgia wins, he's going to immediately find his family and jump in the stands. So that's kind of a unique touch to it. Of not only do I get to celebrate with my friends, but I get to actually celebrate this moment with my family. Was asked what his favorite memory from the rivalry is. He said it's a personal one for me. Watching Trevor last year and how Trevor Etienne and how much that game meant to him. Obviously, Trevor Etienne played at Florida 2 years prior, had never won a game in that matchup until last year. So that was a big moment for him. This was an interesting question as well. Do coaches educate you on this rivalry? You talk about all the history for that. And Kirby even touched on it in his presser where it's like they don't have the appreciation for it necessarily because it's, again, it was interesting, though, because Chauncey said they absolutely do. And one thing that he also touched on was the players recognize this rivalry as much as well. Chauncey and the team know that Kirby Smart played in this rivalry 30 years ago, didn't have a lot of success, knows that there's coaches on this staff that played in these rivalry games, and they have something, and they have emotional invested into it. It's not just a rivalry game for them. They are part of this tradition. So it's interesting to see that while Kirby may not hammer down, hey, this is a rivalry game for us, the players do acknowledge and respect that. This was another really good question. Florida has obviously fired their head coach. So there's a lot of overturn and a lot of mentality changes going on that roster right now. Chauncey was asked, hey, what's it like to go through this coaching overturn? You obviously had a coach last year, Del McGee, who left for Georgia State, got a head coaching job there. What is the mentality there? He said it puts you in a really big gray area. You don't really understand it. But he gave a lot of credit to Coach Crawford, making a really strong effort to make that room feel like a family, and said that at the end of the day, you have to trust your head coach to make the right decision to get the next guy in there.
Had 5 position coaches in 5 years in college.
How would that go?
You get to the point, I think, honestly, it's a blessing now, looking back, because I had to start teaching myself how to do things. I also think it's why we created, Shorter University created a lot of football minds. And I'm sure Georgia does it in the inverse. It's a lot of guys who know great quality football. But when you go through that much turnover, you have to be self-independent to have any type of success. So I think that's what it creates. It creates an individuality about your own personal growth. Because you don't have anybody there holding your hand. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At least for a turnover period. Like, there's got to be a period when Josh Crawford takes over that job where he feels like he is drinking through a fire hose.
Probably.
The coach is learning the install in the middle of spring ball, dude. You know what I mean? So there has to be a self, initiation process there. Go ahead.
So, yeah, that was Chauncey Bowens. Gave some really good stuff there. Next, we got Jordan Hall, who opened with the cardinal sin of any UGA press conference. He was asked about what his favorite moment was from this rivalry. Jacksonville, Florida native, obviously grew up around this game. And his answer was, I didn't really grow up a Georgia or a Florida fan. I was kind of a Bama fan until high school.
That's a Homer fan. I bet he's a Warriors fan.
Maybe.
A Yankee fan for sure. Not Dodgers fan. You're right, a Dodgers
So, yeah, that
fan.
was, you kind of heard the entire beat around go like, oh, like when he said that. And he's like, I know that's not necessarily
How's
a good thing.
kid from Jacksonville, Florida end up a Bama fan?
Because they're winning national titles when you're in your...
Homerism for Jordan Hall.
I don't know if that's homerism. Homerism would be...
What is that? Bandwagonism.
That's what it is. There you go.
It's an ism.
He did reveal an interesting wrinkle about
Is
that.
there a good ism? Is there a single solitary good ism?
Some would say communism.
What?
Again.
That's the first option.
That's what your brain went to.
Some would
Top off the
say...
list?
With a mustache like that.
Whoa. 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 This is a full-size mustache. What are you talking about?
You're right. That's why I said it off camera. Go.
I know there was...
Go. Get us out of the dead mud.
I saw
Go.
the reports from Athens this week. That
Jordan
was
Hall,
not
what
me.
was the
Go,
question?
Jordan Hall.
Jordan Hall, what did he say?
He did reveal, however, that there were some interesting wrinkles to this. For example, his high school had to play on Thursdays when this game came to town because the extra security that was needed for that stadium. So he understands that part. And he also said that he had a lot of family members that went to tailgate. So he understands the environment that this created. His favorite moment since getting to UGA was C.J. Allen's pick last year. He said that was a really crucial moment in that game. A lot of hype was around that. And he said that he wants to create his own moment in his hometown. Going to your stadium jumping tradition, he was also asked this question of hey, what does that tradition seem like? And what does that feel like as a player to be able to connect with those fans? Quote, to be honest, I don't know. I'm too big to get into those stands. So Jordan Hall was flat out honest with you. Never been able to jump into the stands. He did say, got a little more bounce now, though, so maybe this year I'll be able to get in there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't want to be up in a stands that high if my shins were hurting all the time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
This guy's had broken shin bones in both shins.
Mm-hmm.
Probably don't need to be jumping down.
We'll get to that later as well. Was then asked about,
foresight.
Hey, also a Jacksonville native, what made you choose Georgia? He actually revealed that he loved visiting Florida. He would go clean his room ahead of time so his mom would let him go on visits down there because it's a relatively close drive.
Anybody ask him about his Florida draft picks comment?
No, not that I know of. I don't
remember that?
Oh, yeah. I
He's
do
part of the
remember
reason
that.
Tate's podcast got canceled by Kirby.
For a hot minute.
For a good 6 months.
I do remember this.
Put him
now.
on a shelf.
Mm-hmm.
So we can use the collective brand somehow other way. Make y'all sign some footballs or something.
But anyways, ultimately the camaraderie at UGA, going there and feeling like you were part of the brotherhood, was what won him over. But he did say that he still loves Florida to this day. Oh, no, I'm getting cooked in the chat.
Oh, boy, are you. What is it with you and the nicknames, man? You get labeled quick.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
KGB Kirby's crazy.
I guess Kirby's like a really...
KGB Kirby is insane.
That's tough.
Go ahead.
That's tough.
Player notes, though.
I don't know how I'm going to beat those allegations either.
Yeah, no, that's tough.
I guess I just got to wear that one for a while.
Yeah, you'll watch that state off, big dog.
Where was I? Oh, yes. Said, what's been the message to this defense throughout the bye week and leading up to this game? Do simple better. We're doing a lot of self-scouting. Classic, this was fed to you by the coaching staff to answer this one. This was a question I asked him because he revealed that, hey, I used to love going to Florida. I have a very strong relationship there. I still love Billy Napier, still have all respect for that staff. I asked him, when you have strong relationships with both teams and you go into such a heated rivalry matchup, does it kind of change how you mentally approach this game? And this is where I feel like he gave the best answer there. He said, not at all. Adding personal emotion does not make a difference in this game. He revealed that the defensive line room plays a video of Greg Popovich every season, every offseason leading up to fall camp. It's basically him talking about how if plumbers don't do their job, they don't get work. And he says, this is my job and I love it. So I'll go out there every day and play as hard as possible each and every time I can, which was a very interesting thing to reveal, that basically him saying, emotions are relevant in that situation. I'm not going to get involved whether it's a team I love or a team I hate. I have to go out and do my job because that's what it is, and I love doing my job. So kind of an interesting one. Was then asked about, hey, you've been dealing with injuries. What keeps you coming back to this game? You've had to battle through. We've seen you go down a couple of times this year even. Said, I don't really know. He got really introspective with this. I don't really know what keeps coming back. I don't really know why I keep getting up and doing it, but I'm having fun, and this is all I know. And he said, deep down inside, I don't really know. I just love doing it. And he said, I could give a cliche answer like, oh, I do this for my family or something like that, but I don't think that would be honest. So very introspective from Mr. Hall on this.
I don't know why I played through it, other than there is an immense amount of guilt for any football player when you can't go. Probably any athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Probably
for
any
sure.
athlete feels this. I think that's what it is. There's, especially in football, though, because there's this warrior mentality of if you're not dead or if you're not injured, then you're just hurt, and we play hurt. That's what we do. Hockey players to an extent, to an extreme. Football players feel this way too. There's an immense guilt that you feel when you're not able to play.
Definitely. Final 3 questions here. What's been the most rewarding part about your preparations and, going hard through practices at the defensive line? What do you think his answer was?
One more time with the question.
What's the most rewarding part about working hard at the defensive line?
Seeing linebackers make plays.
Making plays.
Oh.
And he said, he talked about how, this was interesting though, talked about how they want to make more splash plays, more high impact plays. Splash, like dropping in the water.
Not flash?
No, splash. Haven't heard that one before.
Oh, I got to plug this in. My bad, J. Will.
I texted you, but I don't know.
I'm locked in, J. Will. I'm not reading text.
Then was asked about, hey, you're a Jacksonville native. How big is your family crowd for this game? He kind of chuckled at this one and said, I can't bring everyone, but there's going to be a large chunk of the crowd that's part of his family. So that would be cool to see for a large amount of family members to be a part of that game.
He's from right outside the stadium.
Yeah.
He's from West Hall, I think is where he went. West Jacksonville, basically. It's right just outside the main bridge.
Final question was to kind of just get a checkup on, hey, how are you feeling right now? You've been dealing with some injuries this year. He talked about all that. Said he feels fine. He's not worried about the injuries. Does have to deal with some post-surgery things like tendonitis and all of that. Said you're never going to be 100% when you're here at Georgia. That's just kind of what it is. You're going to have to play through injuries, but he feels good and he's ready to play. So that concludes our Tuesday presser notes.
Great job, Kirby.
Thank you.
Now, I am a film guy, all right, but we get so inundated with college film during college season that I'm not out here grinding the high school tapes no more. And honestly, I've been a little lazy. We're going to our first high school game in 3 weeks this week because I've been taking Friday nights off because I'm a bum. So we ain't been really glued in and locked into the high school markets. Even when college coaches ask me, they're like, hey, who you like right now? I said, Coach, wait until the spring. I ain't really got an answer for you right now. I've been locked in to this all 22, to this college. You ask me anything about a college football team right now, I'm dialed. But this tape right here, guys, I am stoked to bring this tape to you guys today. This is Tyreek Jemison is how we pronounce that name, not Jameson for you folks out there at home. Tyreek Jemison from Paulding County High School. Jonathan, is this the best and most entertaining tape we will ever watch on this network?
When you came downstairs, I immediately was like, you got to watch this.
This is the first thing you showed me this morning when I came into work.
Yeah, and I was very excited to show you.
This is great stuff. You said this is the Donnie Glover of the 2026
I think
class?
he's a 3-star. He's outside of the top 100.
Just decommitted from Kentucky, right?
Decommitted from Kentucky, and he's set to visit Georgia against Texas this season.
Tyreek Jemison, this stuff is electric, son.
This is a ball player.
This is Paulding County High School, and every single play on this highlight tape ends with a celebration from a man that's 335 pounds. Let's take a look. Here we go. I mean, we normally bury the tape at the end of these shows. Not tonight.
Whoa.
We're going to open the show with this right here. Yes, sir. The Sellies after this. And wait till you see the arms on this joker. This dude must have 36-inch arms.
Was Hiram?
No, yeah, this is him playing against Hiram. I mean, this and the change of direction right there. Watch him
Lord.
Selly. Watch him Selly. Yeah, a little slow up off the knee. Little roll the dice right there. We got some defensive clips on this as well. I got a text from a source that said he played extremely hard on both sides of the football, perhaps in front of a Georgia football coach this last weekend. The Sellies, again, the Sellies are insane on this kid.
This one's awesome.
Yeah, I love this. This has got to be it's 4th and 1. Look,
Yeah.
It's a short yardage situation against North Cobb in a scrimmage. But it's in a scrimmage. I didn't notice this when we saw this earlier.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
This dude is playing with this type of fire, passion, and energy, both sides of the football, in a scrimmage, boys. Love to see that on 4th and 1. Hell yeah, Tyreek Jemison. The arms, dude. He looks like he's out there wearing boxer gloves. You know what I mean? All right, this is a great finish, but I love our body positioning on this rep. We're obviously trying to capture the edge right here and watch us not just manhandle this kid, but do you see how we're working our butt to the sideline? Put us in 2. I know you're busy over there. But put us in 2. Do you see how we're working our butt to the sideline right now? Because we know offensively, we know the concept of the play. We're not just dominating here. We're dominating with good fundamentals, and I love that.
His ability to finish is quite impressive.
Yeah, we're finishing on big guys, too, here, as my man Kirby would say. Is that? Oh, I thought it was him
Kirby
lined up
Smart,
outside.
maybe.
Buried, Anaselli. Oh, yeah. Talk to your own sideline, too. You know what I've noticed about him? He does celebrate a ton. But have you noticed that it's always to his own teammates? It's always to his own sideline. It's never to the guy that he just embarrassed. He saves that for the highlights. That was a little bit of a hold, but I don't care. Yes, sir. Did you see that, Kirby? Were you over there texting? Look at this right here. Look at this Selly.
As a defensive player, that one bothered me.
Oh, shut up. Do something about it. You go tell this kid to stop celebrating.
No, hey, look, he's a hell of a player.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Every snap is I'm going to let everybody know I just dominated. Man, I want this kid in my room if I'm an offensive line coach. Oh, he's an interior offensive lineman. There's no doubt. He's a guard. It's a projected guard. There's no doubt about it. But you know who I look? You know who I see? I bet Saul McKinley's high school tape looks a lot like this. Big-bellied, big-footed, heavy-handed, just mean. Look at that twitch. There's some twitch there, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
God, he lands on you, too. That hurts.
Oh, he's dragging D's, big dog. When he puts you on your back, he going to let you know. That's a hold. That's a hold.
That's a hold.
That's a hold all day, but I do not care. Oh! Yes, sir! The Big Show step. Did you see that at the end?
Yeah.
He hit him with the I'm the Big Show. Right? Yeah.
That's tough.
Woo!
Nothing more humiliating when a O-lineman rubs his package over your helmet.
As just, I'm throwing you. I'm bigger than you. I'm meaner than you. I'm better than you. Oh, my God, dude. This is him against McEachern playing defense, dude. Blowing people
Violent
up.
hands.
Bro, sign this kid today.
I'm telling you, he's just a football player.
All right, so here's what I did today. I'm not going to lie to you. Because they've already got 5. Mm-hmm. They got 5 offensive linemen in 2026 already. Well, I texted somebody in the building and said, hey, do y'all have room? Because I love this kid. I would sign this kid tomorrow. I love this tape. How big is he? 6'5", 330?
I'll look it up right now.
I think that's what I saw on my spring tape. I didn't have a chance to go see him. They're kind of out there in Paulding County. It's not near.
6'5", 315.
Yeah, so he's not even. He's gained weight. That's not 315. That's 330. Anyways, I asked, like, is there room? You know what the response was? We always got room. We always got room at those spots. Do you remember my little from the road soliloquy about Lane Kiffin and quarterbacks?
Yeah.
I talked to an Ole Miss coach, and I was like, hey, man, what's up with all these quarterbacks y'all keep taking? And one of them ended up being Trinidad Chambliss. They took another kid this portal cycle. And I'm like, what's up with all this? I thought Austin Simmons was the guy. And the position coach, who shall not be named, was like, I could literally walk into Lane's office and be like, Coach, if we don't get X, I'm not even going to be able to practice. If we don't get another body at this position, we're not even going to be able to put a team together. And he'd look at me dead in the face and go, tough titty, we're signing a quarterback. They do the same thing at Georgia. Coach, if I don't have another wide receiver, we're not going to be able to practice this year. Tough, you're only getting one, and he better be damn good. He better be Craig Dangeridge good, because we're going to take 15 line of scrimmage players. We're going to take as many defensive linemen as we can. We're going to take as many offensive linemen as we can, because we build box out at the University of Georgia. That's great tape. You got to find room and find ways to get that kid in the box. What's the
for those asking, that's Tyreek Jemison. He is in the 2026 class.
2026, just decommitted from Kentucky, will be on campus when Texas comes to town. Was told he's a Longhorn by multiple sources, so says the chat. I don't know if wide zone's what that dude needs to be playing.
Yeah.
That dude needs to be road grading.
I agree with that.
If I'm your agent, Tyreek, which I should be for some of these kids, not agent, I don't want no clip. I don't want a percentage. I don't even want a stake. Just allow me to give you some advice every once in a while with regards to career decisions and scheme fit. I think that would be good. Maybe I don't need to talk to these guys. Maybe the agents need to consult me. All right. So the agent, shout out to UCAA folks, Jimmy Sexton, if you're watching tonight. They need to consult me about, hey, where should this kid go? Where would this fit him best? What system would he need to be in? What coach would best fit him? That type of stuff.
It would be interesting if
cultivating your prospect.
It'd be interesting if he ended up at Texas, considering he does not have an offer from them.
I think maybe I got trolled by chat. That could happen too.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, I was curious too, because, it is an open recruitment right now, and there are some big teams in the mix, Georgia being one of them. So I was curious.
That tape is gnarly. You ever seen any sellies from a big man like that?
Not that consistently. You get a big man sell every now and then, but not.
That one? That one was cold.
Yeah.
Did you see what his teammate did too? His teammate hit a drag on the forehead in that one too.
Yeah, dragging on the forehead.
Crazy work.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. Scary. Spooky, one might say.
I don't know. Yeah.
Spooky season?
Spooky season.
Local edition?
Local edition.
What if I'd have told you preseason, hey, Brooksy, Monroe Freeling, Micah Morris, Juan Gaston, and Drew Bobo will all be hurt at some point in the first 8 games?
Oh. Well, I don't know if you could expect much improvement from the offensive line.
Yeah, I'd have been like, damn, how'd they playing? Who's out there taking snaps? What's going on?
Is Gunnar Stockton alive right now?
Yeah. Are y'all 4-4? What's going on? Nope. 7-1. Scored 40 multiple times.
Yeah.
Damn near 50.
I had one similar to that I had it as, what if I told you preseason that by this time of the year you're going to have 2 true freshmen playing for you? Now, one of them you could buy.
On the offensive line.
Yeah, on the
Not
offensive line.
Not even just playing for you.
On
the offensive line.
One of those you could have bought, Juan Gaston. We've heard great things about him. So it makes sense that Juan would be starting for you.
I don't think I would have picked Donnie.
No. I don't feel like.
Not even in August, because he had just gotten there 30 days prior.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing about that kid.
Mm-hmm.
And him and Nate are the first only 2 to really do this. Get there in July and play immediately.
The only 2 that I can think of.
George wasn't an early enrollee, was he?
I don't think so.
Did he show up in the summer? That would strike me as a George thing.
I'm pretty sure he was a summer enrollee.
But he was a slow burn early, wasn't he?
Yeah, he didn't really start getting a whole lot of playing time
until duty.
Yeah, midway through the year.
What do you got for me?
I gave one of mine. You can go ahead.
What if I told you that you're going to trail Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama, and Ole Miss at the half? In 3 of those games, the opponent will score 20 points in the first half.
Probably lost them all. I would have said that preseason. Knowing what I knew about the limitations of Gunnar. I'm going to be honest with you. In August, if you told me, hey, he's got to go throw 300 yards in multiple games for them to win, I would have been like, I don't think they can. Not what we saw. We talked about it. Guys, we talked about it all offseason. I don't mean to I'm not shaming Gunnar. I'm not doing that. So don't click me on that. What I'm saying is, going into the year, we talked about perfect recipe for Georgia was 250 yards passing max, 60 yards rushing. They scored 45 points and held the ball.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has thrown for 300 yards twice now against SEC football teams.
I think he's only
298, whatever it was against Ole Miss. It was 300 against Tennessee, damn near 300 against Ole Miss. You see what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I totally.
don't think we would have. I don't think I would have been like, yeah, you're in trouble.
Too, I think another point that you go to there when you hear that, like just that sentence that you gave us is, oh, Hugh Freeze and Auburn figured it out.
Yeah.
They finally got things put together to where
No.
the fact that they got a lead against Georgia. No, not at all.
No, that team was unranked when you played them.
Bunch of tiger poo.
Yeah.
What if I told you after a gauntlet that is the SEC slate, you'd have to play a top 7 undefeated Georgia Tech?
Oh,
That's spooky.
that would be.
That's
spooky.
reality.
I would have said, what the heck happened to the ACC?
That's reality. I think that's what it's going to be. I think they're going to be undefeated in Mercedes-Benz.
They won't be undefeated, but they will
5
be.
versus 7.
Dude, we put the hex on them.
Oh, that's right.
Let's
We
put a
popped
hex
an
on, dude.
umbrella.
Yeah.
We popped the umbrella.
Bro, they're a 5.5-point favorite against North Carolina State.
The urge to abbreviate everything from you is just like everything. Pop the umbrella.
Pop the umbrella. I'm sweating.
What if I told you preseason Gunner was completing 70% of his passes, had just 1 turnover, and was averaging 220 yards per game through the air?
That's not scary. That's like, oh,
No, I mean, I think
sign me up. That's
No, yeah, spooky good. I think you have spooky good.
Ooh, spooky.
Georgia's offense is spooky.
That'd be like, dang, Gunnar Stockton might be a guy this year. Are you all right over there?
Now, I think initially maybe you hear that and you're like, oh, well, they're just hiding the quarterback if he's completing 70% of his passes.
Yeah, oh, he's Jake Fromm in it.
Yeah, 1
No offense,
turnover.
Jake Fromm.
He's not really doing any. He's not doing much in this offense. He's getting some explosives, but no, I mean that guy has been doing it all for the last few games.
Speaking of Gunnar Stockton, what if I had to tell you that he had to play through an oblique injury against Ole Miss? Now, I say that because the oblique injury is one that kind of is in the back of Georgia fans' minds as it goes, oh.
I was going to make a JT Daniels joke.
This is what Quinn Ewers dealt with too, right?
Quinn Ewers dealt with this. JT Daniels dealt with this. Like, the oblique injury, from my experience the last 3 years, has been kind of a death sentence for quarterbacks.
Yeah. Nussmeier right now.
The thing for Gunner, though, is that there's no world where you can make that guy start lollipopping balls.
Yeah, no, there ain't
It's not a
there ain't no
single world.
finesse in that dude's game.
Oh,
He'll just tear the oblique off the bone.
My oblique
is that
is
connected to a
shredded?
bone? He'll just tear it off.
All muscles are connected.
my
to
oblique
bones.
is shredded.
It's how your body moves.
Still got to throw heaters.
That's a good point. Rip it off the bone. I'm Gunnar Stockton.
Oof.
What if I told you preseason that by week 10, Oscar Delp and Lawson Lucky would both have under 200 yards receiving by week 10 and only 10 receptions each?
Checks out.
Really?
Guys, again, not to do this. That's on pace for 400 yards this year.
Listen,
This is what Georgia tight ends do prior to Brock Bowers. I hate to do that, but that's what it is.
I wanted to bring this up not because I'm like, oh, what the heck? These guys aren't putting up the numbers that we thought they were. Not to do that, but to point to this of some hear that if you were to tell someone that in the preseason, they'd be like, oh, well, what the heck happened to those two guys? They're supposed to be 2 great players for us, and they're obviously not contributing the offense. But I'd say it's the inverse of where these are 2 guys that if you just look at the stat book, yeah, it's going to be like, well, these guys aren't doing a whole lot for Georgia. But they have been massive impact players for Georgia the entire season on every single play that they're on the field. They're doing so much for this offense when the ball is not in their hands. Like, those 2 guys need to be commended for their efforts this season. I mean,
And putting it in the box.
yeah.
What was Darnell Washington's career high for receptions and yards? Because I feel like,
Pull the stat reference up right now. I guarantee it's no more than 420 yards.
oh,
I'd go under
I'd
that.
go under that. I don't
I'd
think
say
he had
like
more than
315.
365.
I'd say his career high was 356.
This, again, I made this take earlier in the summer.
He got 454 his last year.
2023.
I made the take earlier in
2022.
the summer, but 2 of those are – one of those is 140 yards against Mississippi State, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
But anyways, I made this take earlier in the year. It was like, yeah, Brock Bowers went for damn near a rack, but outside of Orson Charles, most of these guys are 27 for 440 at their peak. You know, so that's just what it is. That's what college tight ends are normally.
That's fair.
You know, unless they're going for a rack, they're going for 400. Just, there is no in between. There's nobody out here consistently 750 in with their tight ends, except for maybe Iowa.
And especially when you're playing as many of them as Georgia does.
Yeah.
Like, they're rotating them in. They're playing both of them at the same time more times than not. Like when you got multiple of them on the field, yeah, it's
This
gonna be
one's
hard
kind
to
of
put up
spooky
numbers.
from a standpoint of, as an analyst, I wouldn't have been able to explain it other than, damn, Kyron and Ja'Cory were that good. But if you would have told me preseason, hey, Brooks, come at game 8, Adrian Maddox is going to be unplayable or had not been played. Zion Branch is going to be unplayable or had not played. And Jaden Harris is going to be unplayable or had not played. And, oh, by the way, Kyron Jones is going to be out for an extended period of time. I would have been like,
who's playing?
What are they doing? What do they got going on back there? And it's Ja'Cory and KJ, and that'll be it until something else happens.
I mean, bringing up that point, thank goodness that you've been able to hold on to Ja'Cory, and thank goodness that Ja'Cory has chosen to stay at Georgia during this
Shout
time.
out.
That guy has barely played his entire
Shout
career.
out Coach Boom.
Yeah, shout out Muschamp. That was one of his guys. But I mean, this has been 5 years that this guy has sat on a roster. He's waited behind Dan Jackson. He's waited behind Malachi Starks. He's waited behind KJ Bolden. Like 2 guys that came in as true freshmen and were like, "Yep, that's our spot. We're playing now." And he's just waited the course the entire time. Like where you would be right now without Ja'Cory Thomas, that needs to be mentioned. And same thing for Kyron. Like he's waited his turn a bit as well. So the fact that you held on and got those 2 guys on your roster, that is definitely worth shouting out.
What if I told you that you will once again lose Colby Young for a season, and up to the Florida game, Noah Thomas has less than 5 catches?
Probably would say
I would have said Georgia wide receiver unit. I'd have said, told you so. Kirby's right. You got to show me.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
But wouldn't something in your mind probably have been like, well, there's got to be a reason why Noah Thomas doesn't have as many receptions? Perhaps that reason is because of Colby
Is it
Young.
really only 5 catches?
He's got 4.
Whoa.
I mean, it's been like 1 a game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's going to change.
Let me double check that to make sure I'm.
It's going to change. It's okay, though.
Yeah.
All that matters is 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but preseason, all these things would have been like, how are they? Oh, they're running the piss out the ball. That's how.
Yeah. He had 3 catches against Austin Peay for 24 yards and 1 catch against Auburn for 30.
Is someone asking where's Austin Armstrong? Armstrong is at Houston balling out right now. Maybe they're asking.
I think
where
they're
Joshua
asking about
Armstrong is. Yeah, Joshua.
Armstrong.
Yeah, it's rare for him.
We
not
got
to
a
be
Chad
here
that
as
looks
well.
out for one another.
They do. I have to text Joshua, see if he's all right. Anything else on the spooky seas?
Yeah,
That's
I've
it
got
for me.
one more that's really spooky.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Like going to send shivers down my spine?
Shiver me timber spooky?
It would have. What if I told you that you lost to Bama at home this year?
Georgia season. That's Georgia football
30
right there.
33-game win streak at home. Haven't lost there since 2019. Alabama, who lost to Florida State, walked up in there. You were favored. It was a night game, and you lost. That would haunt me leading up to the season. If you told me that back in May and were like, listen, I have a 100% guarantee that Alabama beats you, I would lose sleep over that.
That haunts you, but Auburn beating Georgia doesn't haunt you?
Auburn beating Georgia scared the hell out of me.
Oh, Joshua Armstrong's here. Y'all tripping.
Let's
My
go.
boy don't
I knew he
never
was
miss.
here. I knew
My
he was
boy don't
here.
never miss.
But yeah, I mean, if you said that Alabama beats Georgia, yeah, I would have been like, well, sheesh, that freaking sucks. But it also would have been like very believable. I mean, very believable.
I would hope you'd have more of a reaction than, oh, sheesh, that sucks.
Well, I'm just like condensing that of what the reaction actually was.
I would tear my house up.
Oh,
That'd
Ripping
be scary.
decorations off the walls.
that's more
dude.
spooky.
You know what else would be scary? If Georgia lost any of these coaches off this dominant coaching staff.
Oh, man.
And this is the year that it might actually happen, boys. There are a lot of college coaching jobs that are opening up. So is this the year? And if so, what are the job openings that ultimately scare you the most if you're a Georgia fan? We'll start with the head ball coach. Unless Andy Reid randomly retires, or unless for some reason Mike Vrabel walks away from Drake May, I don't see an NFL job that is piquing the interest of Kirby Smart. Other than that, there ain't a damn college job in the world that could get this guy to leave the University of Georgia.
Unless,
Maybe Bainbridge. Maybe Bainbridge might get him.
If he's like, this
Hey,
is my
Kirby,
final
we got
year.
a brand new $30 million indoor down here at Bainbridge. Get you a nice golf course subscription or membership. What do you say? Come be a Hurricane.
Where does Andrew play?
Athens Academy.
If Athens Academy's like,
I don't know why I knew that quickly. That felt weird.
I don't know.
Actually, no, he's at Athens Academy.
Yeah,
There's
he
Athens
is.
Christian and Athens Academy.
Yeah.
One's
Athens
green, looks like
Christian is
Michigan
purple.
State. The other one is purple and,
Purple and gold.
and yellow. Yellow. That ain't gold.
Okay. Purple and yellow.
Yeller.
yeah, no. If Athens Academy was like, hey, Curb,
But ain't a job that
want to
Curtis
coach your
cares
son, and we'll give you all the money in the city.
You don't even have to steal it from the local bank.
Yeah, you know.
We'll just give
Just
it to
gonna
you.
give
We'll
it
just
to
give
you.
it to you. Matter of fact, will you be the bank?
You don't have to worry about you get to just coach again. You don't have to
You're
worry
probably
about
worth
recruiting.
more than the GDP of the town.
We will even let you use the school bus instead of the helicopter.
Bobo's not leaving.
No.
It'll be retirement the day Bobo walks away from the Georgia staff.
I think that, again, and this also is not a Mike Bobo's not getting any offers. I don't think Mike Bobo is even entertaining offers. Why
Mm-mm.
would you want to leave here?
He's already climbed the ladder. He's on the way
Yeah.
back down, settling at the nice rungs that make him feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
He's already tried to do the coaching route, and he's bounced around doing the OC thing, and now he's back at his alma mater, and he ain't going unless he gets asked to leave.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's getting asked to leave.
Nope.
I don't
look
think he
like
should.
It.
I don't
There's no
want it.
reason to ask him to leave.
Nope.
Not at all.
I feel this way about Trey Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He
Trey
said
Scott-
as such.
Trey Scott makes like $1.2 million.
Here
Trey
is
Scott makes more money as the defensive line coach of the University of Georgia, a stress-free football job, by the way, other than getting yelled at occasionally by Kirby. But a stress-free, you're never getting fired type of football job, and he makes more than 90% of defensive coordinators in this sport.
here is my kind of theory of that would scare, and this is a way down the road thing. The day that ultimately comes where Kirby Smart retires, and I think we are all in agreement that it's not 20 years from now.
No.
It's not that far out.
Mm-mm.
Let's be realistic. Is that coaching staff going to be a house of cards because they've been so loyal to Kirby where it's like, Coach Smart's left. You know what? I think I'm going to hang it up too.
There very well could be.
Now, again, I mean, we have no idea what that staff's going to look like when Kirby Smart ultimately does leave Georgia, but that is something to think about where you're not going to have a lot of guys. It's like, I just love Georgia. So, I mean, you will, but it'll also be, you're going to have a lot of replacing to do is basically what I'm
I
getting
will
at.
say this, like, about to rekindle the Bobo discussion. Bobo's got a great future at quarterback for, like, the next X amount of years.
Yeah.
You don't walk away from that.
Mm-mm.
No.
And by the way, I don't think it's going to stop at Jared Curtis. I think they got another blue chipper lined up after that one. So, and we've told our Patreon audience about that for quite some time. Patreon.com/Bruce Austin. Stacey Searles isn't going anywhere.
Doesn't appear to be.
I don't know. The only job I can think about Stacey maybe leaving for is Auburn, where he played.
Yeah.
He's a Rome, Georgia guy. You know, played at, I think, Pepperell up there, or maybe Coosa. One or the other. Was a Rome, Georgia guy, and then went out to Auburn to play his college ball, blocking for Bo, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
And I could see, you know, if maybe one of his buddies or somebody he's connected with or has a prior history with takes that Auburn job if it comes open.
Yeah, especially like considering where his career is at. It's like, yeah, we'll just go settle down in Auburn. We'll
Yeah.
ride it out. We'll
Get a
just be
nice
there.
lake house in the state of Alabama.
Yeah,
Just cool it at my alma mater. I don't know his family like that.
yeah.
I don't know if his wife is an Auburn person. I don't know. But there might be something there. But other than that, I don't think he's going anywhere. Which leaves the guys that might, right? Glenn Schumann might one day have to just take one of these jobs.
Yeah.
I was telling you guys this. There comes a point in time where his agent will tell him, here's the reality, Glenn. You're going to make $10 million over the next 5 years at Georgia being the defensive coordinator, making $2 million a year. And it's great. And that's awesome. And you're the best that does it. And that's great. But eventually they're going to stop calling about these jobs that want to pay you $65 million over the next 5 years. And at some point in time, Glenn, either you're going to have to go get different representation or I'm going to have to stop calling. You know what I mean? And like that, there becomes a time where pressure gets made and eventually you're going to have to take one of these $65 million jobs.
There's also
And this ain't like Sam Pittman where the fallback is, oh, I got to go be an offensive line coach again. No, the fallback is I got to go be an NFL DC. That's what his fallback will be. If he takes the Arkansas job for some, you know what I mean? If it's
Yeah.
that. If he takes the Arkansas job and flames out in 3.5 years, walks away with $60 million worth of a buyout, he's going to be an NFL DC or he's going to come right back here into Athens. There is no There's no win-win, lose-lose. There's no lose-lose here. It's all win-win for him. And at some point, you have to, I think. Right?
I mean, I think that there's two jobs that I could really see Glenn Schumann taking right now. I could see him taking the Arkansas job, and considering that he interviewed for the North Carolina job this past cycle, I could see him interviewing for the Virginia Tech job. I could see that being a possibility where his name's being floated around for that one. I think those are the two that I'd be like, yeah, I could see Schumann there, absolutely.
It's also worth noting that the lifespan of a defensive coordinator at Georgia is about 3 to 4 years. Obviously, Mel Tucker was there till 2019 from 16 to 19. Dan Lanning, 19 to 21. Todd Grantham even. This is pre-Kirby Smart era, 2010 to 2013. Brian Van Gorder, 2001 to 2004. You can go back to Richard Bell, 1989 to 1993. So it's about 3 to 4 years of a DC before they either move on or go elsewhere. So
that's the shoe route right there, right? And obviously, we've been talking about it all season. It feels like it's getting to the point where you would be ignorant to continue the operations as if this is not a possibility.
For sure.
Yeah. And at this point, a likelihood, it feels like. And I've never had any type of conversation with Shu about this. I don't know anybody close to him enough to be like, hey, does Shu even want to be a head football coach? I do think there is some self-realization with that guy. I do think he knows that he's not going to be rah-rah, sis-boom, boss, stand in front of everybody, rally the troops guy if he were a head football coach. And does that mean you can't do this job? I don't know. All right, who's an introvert that's a head football coach?
In college football?
Period.
Josh McDaniel.
I'll put Hype in this. Hype's a straight football guy.
Great.
I don't care about none of that nonsense. Mark Stoops. I'm talking about successful.
I mean,
10-11 win, top 12, top 15 guy. That level of a football coach. That's what I'm talking about.
I would say that Bill Belichick is an introvert.
100%. No nonsense. Don't give a shit about none of that. He counts. Sig is a hot take guy, but strikes me as we've spoken to players that have played for Sig that never see him. Mm-hmm. They talk about him as a CEO, works behind the scenes, almost like Wizard of Oz type guy. So it can be done.
Yeah.
I just wonder if he wants to do this.
Mike Elko strikes me as an introvert.
Which we're waiting to see.
Dude, have you seen Mike Elko on the sidelines?
Yeah.
That man is purple.
I saw that tweet. It was a decent tweet.
Dude, you look like you just got off of the sun.
Barney's sitting right there for you, big dog.
That felt a little.
It's sitting right there for you.
That felt like we were body shaming at that point.
I mean, Barney's got real slim features in the face. Barney's got good chin structure. There's a belly on him, but I mean, don't we all?
Yeah, it felt like that would have been taken as a body shaming.
Fair. What are other purple characters?
Grimace.
That's worse.
Isn't he large?
That's worse than Barney.
I'm trying to think of a skinny Waluigi. But his clothes are purple. He's not actually purple.
Speaking of large football coaches, could Todd Hartley go the Sam Pittman route? Skip the offensive coordinator and go straight to a head coaching job?
I don't know if
he wants
want
to go to USF.
What scares him more from doing this? Watching Sam Pittman or watching Dale McGee right now?
Dale McGee.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the route that Todd Hartley
Because at least Sam Pittman got a 4,000-pound hog in his backyard.
Yeah.
And $60 million. Or however many it was. Because he got an extension, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably ran out on them for a good 50 racks, 50 mil. And Dale might only get 12 out of Georgia State.
Only 12.
But guys, it's bad.
Yeah, and it's not going well over there.
It's not going. Is that a winnable job? I know it's a local hour. You know why? You know why it's so hard? Because this state gets so over-recruited.
Mm-hmm.
If these kids, like, for example, a 3-star that is a nobody type of football player in Nebraska ends up at Nebraska. The 3-star in Atlanta doesn't go to Georgia State. He ends up at South Carolina. He ends up at Clemson. He ends up this state gets so over-recruited. I'm not saying players aren't good enough to go to those schools. All I'm saying is if you're a starter at Grayson, you're probably getting a P4 offer. And that's not how it is at these other states. So I do think these kids get over-recruited. I think there's more bust out of this state. Kids that go to these lesser than pro, not at Georgia. I'm not talking about Georgia. I'm not talking about Alabama when they take kids from the state. I'm talking about Kentucky, when they come down here and take a kid, that kid might not end up being that good. That kid used to go to Georgia State, and now because of recruiting services, he ain't going to Georgia State. He's going to Mississippi State, and that hurts that program.
I agree with you to some point. You are right on this, that this state does get heavily recruited, and that it kind of leaves less for the little guy. But Georgia Southern's been able to survive pretty well throughout this. Colleges like that have done well.
That's South Georgia, though, not Metro Atlanta.
I think Del McGee's problem is that
they can recruit North Florida. Sorry.
Del McGee's problem is that roster got the rug swept out from under them when Sean Elliott left. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people were like, oh, I'm not staying. I came here for Coach Elliott. Because when you come to a place like that, you come for the coach. You don't come for the environment. You don't come for the camaraderie. Because let's be honest, Georgia State has had a football program for what? 10 years, 15 years at max. It's not like it's bashed in tradition. They play at Turner Field, for God's sakes. So when you come there for the coach and that coach leaves, there's not a whole reason for me to come around and stay. So I think Del McGee took over a ragtag roster that he's got to build up. So I understand why it's doing bad right now.
I'm looking at it right now. He's about 60-40 state of Georgia out of state is what it looks like to me. And but it's a lot of, oh, you went to Air Force out of high school, come back down here.
Right.
Oh, you went to Ole Miss out of high school, come back down here. Right. Oh, you went to Georgia out of high school, come back down here. Which that's the mid-major role. So I don't mean to.
Chat makes a good point though. Kennesaw State picking things up rather quickly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like what?
Like I said,
it's gonna go. It's gonna be a.
By the way, you said Del McGee would end up making $12 million. Is that what you said?
Yeah. What's his deal?
He doesn't even make $1 million a year. He approximately makes $850,000.
We got to pull that nose up. We got to pull that nose up now.
Give him time.
It's been 2 years.
It's been 2 or 1?
It's the second season there. This is his second season at Georgia State.
Are we sure?
I'm 100% positive. This is his second season at Georgia State.
Yeah.
And the Kennesaw State thing is even crazier because they just got done running triple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going well. There's
what about
no denying that.
That's not good.
Now, I don't see him being a head coach, but a guy that could certainly fill in one of these roles somewhere else for a head coach as an offensive coordinator potentially. What if someone gives James Coley another run?
You know, honestly, I never thought like wasn't Hankton, the Brian McClendon. I never saw that coming. Brian McClendon taking a lateral job from the college ranks to the pro ranks.
Yeah.
Do people remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm an analyst, so sometimes I forget that they had a wide receiver coach go from Georgia to Tampa. Now, there was some, like Liam Cohen being a college guy,
right?
Like that had some tanglings there, but
was
that
not
out of
also
nowhere.
Was that
and
not
I also
also
didn't feel like Brian McClendon was. Did you feel like he was special when he was here?
He was all right.
I liked BMAC. I felt that
I'm not saying I don't like the guy. I'm saying did he do a special job when he was here?
I liked him as a coach.
Coley has done a better job recruiting.
Yeah. I think that's what it kind of was, where Brian McClendon maybe necessarily didn't love recruiting. It was kind of like, hey.
Well, I think he wasn't here long enough to put his timestamp on it.
That's fair.
Because he took over a room from Hankton that was, thank God we hit on Ladd McConkey.
Yep.
That's what the room was. Like, I kicked my feet up when I signed George Pickens and Dominic Blaylock. I'll see y'all in a couple of years, and I'll recruit again. Or I'll go to LSU where I'm from. So I think that was a lot of, I'm picking up from that. I honestly can't even remember the classes that McClendon signed. Wasn't it a lot of kid from Lakeland, Tyler, what's his name?
There was another Tyler Williams.
C.J. Smith wasn't all that good.
Yeah.
Denila Morissette wasn't that good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of misses there.
Yeah.
Might be something to look into there. But he ain't recruiting no more. He just coaching ball now.
Just coaching ball
now. Anybody else on the staff? Do you think one of these NFL guys that came back down to college, like the Lundy guy, the tight ends coach, do you think when I see those dudes, they don't look like they want to?
Oh, you mean Lilly?
Lilly? Well, John Lilly, and what's the offensive line coach? Rosher?
Yeah.
Guys like that, it's
dude, I've seen those guys. They don't look like they look like they're lifers, and they're on the back end of this ready to just tell people what they think, not be out here yelling at kids to go to class. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They look like they're ready to coach ball, X's and O's, break it down, say this is what we need to tweak. Here's what I'm seeing, coach. I don't think they want to sit down with mama and daddy and talk about how much NIL money we can get you.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly like guys that have been in the NFL and come back down to the college ranks. It seems like it's only a point in time before they get back into the NFL ranks.
Yeah, I don't. The involvement of those guys is so hard to tell because it's not as cut and dry as you would get from a position coach or a coordinator. I do think that there's always an avenue for them to just be like, yeah, I did this. This was kind of to get my feet wet, get a name for myself, build my references up, and go elsewhere. So it's a very real possibility that they're leaving, but also that's not a name where you're like, oh, God, we cannot lose this guy.
Who's this year's peanut in this football game against Florida?
Ooh,
I got 5 nominees. Telling me J.J. Hane's got 10 days to practice his ass off into a lineup?
J.J. Hane's a good one.
That dude, I bet he's been playing like his hair's on fire for the last 10 days.
So when we do this, who is the peanut? Is it the player that
I think here's what it is. I think Peanut earned his way into that lineup based off the way he practiced during the bye week and the 5 days leading up to Florida. And they were like, God dang, we can't do nothing but get this guy on the bus.
Got to put him on the travel squad,
We have to get him a way to go.
and got his moment and was
So I think J.J. Hane is first name off the bus in my name in my list.
So I had 2 names, and that kind of eliminates him. Elias Williams and C.J. Wiley. I think they're off the list now because those are guys that have been getting reps. They've been traveling. They've been playing.
Ben has snacks.
Yeah, I mean, Elias Williams has had targets this year.
Snacks for days.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're necessarily the peanut. I have one more that I'm kind of wanting to hold on to because I think it's the perfect answer for this.
Oh, I think I got a sneaky one.
Good.
The first 2 that I have are guys that they've started to kind of, well, one of them has started to get reps. The other one might start get to as well. Darren Ikenagbon and Isaiah Gibson. Those could be 2 guys that you see start getting more involved maybe on the obvious passing downs. Like maybe they showed enough. And Kirby even said on a recent podcast, like, we got to get better in the pass rush department. That's something that we've got to improve upon. So maybe those are 2 answers. The name that I think that maybe there's an outside chance that this guy gets involved a little bit. Give me some Rayshawn Dinkins.
Ooh, I like.
This was a guy that they talked about during fall camp, a guy during the offseason that got
summer enrollee too.
Yeah, summer enrollee. So this would be the point in time where maybe he's starting to pick things up a little bit. Got the bye week, got to get him some burn, some reps during practice. Yeah, got the opportunities as well. Maybe they're like, let's go see if he can swim.
Here's my answer. So when I remember Peanut, the hype around him in that touchdown, I was like, man, if y'all have seen the plays this guy's making in practice, we could not take him off of the travel roster. It's Jeremy Bell then. Jeremy Bell is the guy that has, from what we've heard, is constantly been making plays. We saw it in G-Day. Is a fan favorite, is a player favorite. We'll get an opportunity like that, and then all of a sudden the casual fans and the national analysts go, no one's ever heard of this kid. He's playing incredible. I think that's who your peanut could be this year. It's Jeremy Bell. And with a receiver going down, there's an opportunity for him to get on the field.
Anybody mention Chris Jones? You already do that?
No.
He's already getting a lot of burn, or an extended amount of burn over the last couple of weeks. I think it's a good couple of weeks to maybe hone the craft and practice.
For sure.
And get an opportunity to explode in this football game. Back to the theme of you gave me 10 days to work my butt off and earn the right to play some more. How about some Bo Hewley in that mix?
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
I bet Bo Hewley been playing with his face in practice. I bet he been getting after it. Noah Thomas, big week for him.
Absolutely.
Big week.
Big week. I feel like it's the end of class. I hear a lot of bags getting zipped up, a lot of laptops getting closed.
Hey, I got all
the bell doesn't.
The bell has not rung. It does not dismiss you. I do. That 10 o'clock does not mean you get to pack it in.
It's not the 10 o'clock. It's I'm all out of notes. I got nothing left to read. Chat's still open here. Now, from here on out, the takes are free balling.
And I'm free. Free balling. See you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.